Mellingkin.
Respectable?
Mm-hmm. Human League.
That'd be, oh wow, what would it do? Would they have got Don't You Want Me?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Linus, Take On Me?
Yep,
Yeah.
well done. Madness.
Baggy Trousers.
Of course. Kim Wilde.
Kids in America?
Yeah, so there's just all those treats. If you like a song from an 80s band, it's probably on there.
Yeah, okay.
Plus we've also got on VHS, Graham Norton, some kind of best of compilation from his TV show. So, there are the,
Hold on, is it the one where he talks to sort of female gay icons and looks at the internet? Because that's my favourite one. Right, there you go, let's do Rockbusters.
Right, email only, of course.
Yeah. Email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you know the answer. Right, first one, bit of a cryptic clue if you haven't heard it before.
Well, not cryptic, but go on. What is Carl thinking?
If you go into France by boat, I'd get your fags on there because it's a lot cheaper.
Imagine Bob Holness. Sorry, we're out of time. Sorry, your minute's up. You've won nothing. I was reading that question out.
Sorry, so what's the...
Let's do it again, and I want it to be exactly the same, word perfect. I bet you it will change all over the place. It'll be different. He's lost it.
Go into France, buy yourself a boat, and fags are cheaper.
Okay, fingers on the buzzers. You've only got 10 seconds to win the gold run. Okay, first up. Here, I'll tell you what, no, seriously, if you're thinking of going to France, well don't, because go on the ferry, get the fags there, because it's cheaper. Go on.
Right, so that one again, if you want to buy some fags, you're going over to France on a boat, get them on there, because you'll save a few quid. BF.
Okay.
Right, the second one, this little, foreign cafe's growing its own steak.
This little foreign cafe is growing its own steak.
Yeah. This little foreign cafe's growing its own steak.
Go on.
B.
Alright.
Right.
Okay.
And the last one,
Is that part of it?
Hang on.
He's the best, isn't he? He's the best.
The Jamaican fella might have screamed this on the Titanic.
What?
The Jamaican fella might have screamed this on the Titanic.
Yeah.
What's it start with?
It's CD, that one.
Jamaican fella might have screamed this on the Titanic. ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Please don't phone in. If you can get those, we just don't want to talk to you.
Better Nelly?
Yeah,
it's a summer tune.
sweet.
It's a summer favourite.
Sweet.
Nelly, Ride With Me. That's featuring City Spud. I don't know if you're aware of that, but there we are. Good, nice summer tune.
Carl, tell Steve what you just told me when Steve was in the toilet then.
Right, I'd just been away with my mum and dad and that. And one of the things I always like doing is having a good chat with my dad about stuff he got up to when he was a kid and that.
Yeah.
Right, because he got up to loads of stuff, and every time I see him, he tells me something, and I think, it's like, why are you just telling me that now? It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Right? So,
I mean, to me, he's kind of like Ronnie Biggs or someone. He's just the most extraordinary kind of.
Well, this happened, right? I can't remember. There was a delay yesterday. There was problems on the Paddington line, and he was saying, trains aren't what they used to be.
Sure.
He said, I was looking.
They used to be horses, didn't they?
Well, he was looking in the booklet, and it was saying how you can have your bags collected if you want, but it costs you £5.
Yeah.
So that's outrageous.
Sure, of course. Right.
So he said that's the problem with this country. We've got good with computers and that, but when it comes to getting service, it's gone out the window.
Yeah.
Right? So he said when I worked on the trains, and he was going on like this, that and the other. So I said, I didn't know you worked on the trains. He said, yeah, when I was 18, right, it was his job to get the coal, right, and chuck it in the engine. Right? And one day he's in Grand Central Station in Manchester, which is now the GMX Centre. Right? And that was like the main station. And he was in there. The fella who should have been sort of driving the train, right? He said, I'm just nipping to the pub.
Sure.
So you just stay here, keep the engine topped up and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's like,
For a quick getaway.
Yeah.
Right? So the fella goes in the pub, and my dad's in there, putting the coal on. He did his bacon and eggs on a little shovel.
Yeah, yeah.
And anyway, fella comes up. He says, right, can you move the train forward now?
Oh, blimey.
So he was like, So he didn't want to say, oh, the fella's in the pub, because he'd know, he'd say, what's he doing in the pub? He should be working, right? So he said, yeah, no problem, I'll sort it out. Right, so he puts it into gear, or whatever you do on them trains,
Sure,
right?
puts it into first, yeah.
Starts going forward. Now, people who don't know about trains, something that I learnt, is if you're carrying a load of coal or whatever on the back of it, they don't have brakes on each carriage, right? It's only the engine that has brakes on it. So when you pull the brakes on the engine, the whole weight of what it's pulling is pushing you forward.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't realise this though, because he's just used to cooking bacon and eggs and chucking coal.
Of course,
and
yeah.
things,
So you've got to slam the brakes on sooner than you would normally.
Yeah.
Well, you have to anticipate it, I suppose. Yeah.
But he didn't know that,
course
so
he didn't,
he's pulling in, he's thinking, right,
Well, he's a Parkinson.
I'll put the brakes on now.
Yeah.
Right? Puts the brakes on, the train just keeps going, it's going, oh god, it's not stopping.
Sure.
It ploughs right through the signal box. Right? Loads of damage.
Pulling the singles, don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Loads of damage done. Apparently, if it was today's money,
Yeah.
it'd be about £3 to £4 million worth of damage. It shut the station off for 4 weeks. But he didn't lose his job. The fella lost his job, the one who was in the pub.
Yeah.
He said the funny thing was, he said like £4 million worth of damage. He did his ankle, his wrist in. He had 3 weeks off sick and got paid. So it's brilliant. So
I love your family.
It's extraordinary. The Pilkinson gene.
weird, isn't it?
I'd like to see a documentary following you and your family. You'd have to get the family involved.
No, the sort of stuff my dad goes on about. Never put it on telly.
Blur. Out of Time on XFM 104.9.
We ought to give those Rockbusters clues again.
Yeah, go on.
We've had very
one.
few contributions so far, Carl. I think you've really started.
This might be it. I've told you, you're on thin ice. If this goes wrong, if it's rubbish, and if everyone doesn't get them all, that's the end of Rockbusters.
Right, well, the first one again, right?
Yeah.
If you go out to France, right, by boat, you might as well get your fags whilst you're on that, because you'll save a few quid. Right?
Different every time.
BF is the initials of the artist that little cryptic clue makes up. The second one, Little Foreign Cafe, it's growing its own steak. Right? That's D. Little Foreign Cafe, it's growing its own steak. D. And the last one, if there was a Jamaican fella on the Titanic when it went down, he'd probably scream this. CD. Right? So email in ricky.gervais.co.uk.
Yeah,
Right?
they're not flooding in, but yeah.
Well, we'll see how we do.
Carl, have we still got monkey news?
We've got monkey news coming up.
Now, you must be disappointed because you didn't make it to the monkey sanctuary, but you still managed to scrape together monkey news on your holiday.
Yeah.
That's
So I've
impressive.
found some of that. We've got...
How
some-
do you get so many breaks and holidays? Because you went away with Suzanne's parents. You've just been away with your parents. That's a couple of weeks, 10 days. So that's probably about 3 weeks in all. You had that. You went to Manchester. You had that day off because your trousers were wet. I mean, and I suppose because you've only got one job, and I've got a lot more. This is just one of my jobs. But I mean, don't you ever count your blessings? Go, God, thank God, I can have time off. I don't work too hard. I'm not stressed too much.
No. It's just all to do with when you do work, do a lot. So I get a lot done.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'm always doing stuff. I mean, even though when I was in Cornwall, right, I'm sat there on the grass.
Oh, I'd love to just sit on the grass.
Oh, yeah, you're too busy
Chill
with
out a
that
little bit.
one.
I know, yeah, well,
My dad and Suzanne are playing crib, right? I'd sort of fallen out with him at
Your
that
dad and
point.
Suzanne are playing
Where'd you
crib.
fallen
Because
out
you didn't live in
with?
the 1940s.
Yeah, where'd you fallen out?
Because with crib, have you ever played crib?
Yeah,
Right, you've got to be pretty good at maths.
sure.
You've got to make your cards add up to 15 and all.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna correct you on you've got to be good at maths. Yeah. What? Algebra, quantum physics, what?
No, just adding up.
Adding up to 15. Brilliant.
I mean,
You can
that's
almost do it on your fingers.
You could in Cornwall.
But my dad's really good at maths, and like he said, how many have you got? And he always counts his, and it's like 15, 2, 15, 4, 15, 6, 3 for your at, 1, and all that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He adds it up really
One for
quick.
his knob.
Right, so I was like, right, hang on a minute. And he goes, no, what do you mean, hang on? I don't know, what have you got? She said, "Oh, forget it." I said, "This isn't fun if you're going to start getting all arty with me."
Sure.
So,
Get it?
yeah.
I love it. But he's only, I'm sure I don't know him, but I'm sure he's just winding you up. Like, his victory is you going, forget it, I'm not playing.
well, anyway, right. So it doesn't matter. I think I'll go off and do some prep, right?
Yes.
Do some research for Saturday. Found one of Suzanne's magazines, right? Flicking through, because there's always interesting stuff in there. There was something about swingers.
Right.
I was like, what's all that about?
Yeah.
And it had an interview with some people talking about, how they sleep about a bit.
Yeah.
And I thought, if my wife looked like that, I probably would. Because there was a few pictures of them and they were all pretty ugly.
Yes.
And I thought, right. So I took that in, soaked that up, thought, there you go. Carried on reading. There was a bit in there about how women still have crushes, right?
Yes.
And the woman was going on about how she's 38, right? But she still fancies Chris Martin from Coldplay.
Uh-huh.
And, even though it'll never happen, she's still got that little bit in her head that thinks one day she'll leave Gwyneth, right? And end up with her, right?
Right.
Anyway, so I'm thinking this is a bit boring, but I'm flicking through it all. And,
Is this a Rockbusters clue?
No. Right. And I read further on, right? And she said, I like to go out with my mates, and we come up with lists in pubs of people who they'd be nice to go out with. She also came up with a list of unlikely lost objects, I think she called them.
Yeah.
Guess who was in that list?
Ricky Gervais.
Think again.
Carl Pilkington.
Right. Next one.
Johnny Vegas.
Said, lanky co-writer.
Rubbish.
Lanky co-writer.
What do you mean lanky co-writer?
Well, do I need to say any more? He said,
hang on, wait a minute. Let's not talk about... I don't want you laughing at my expense. I'm an unlikely lost object.
yeah,
But what was it called? The list?
The unlikely lost object
Yes.
list. You were in there. Right?
Who else was?
Well, you weren't in there.
Richard Madeley,
Fine.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking guy.
Alistair Campbell.
Brilliant. Another handsome dude. What are you talking about? You think I'm ashamed or embarrassed about that? I'm proud of it. What magazine was it? I need to buy a couple of copies.
It was.
Need to get a t-shirt made.
And did she leave her number?
Yeah. What magazine was it? Just out of interest.
I think it's called Red.
Yeah, sure.
But now you've dissed those people that have put themselves in their swingers because you've said they're ugly. So now we know what magazine it is. People are going to look at that. People are going to look at that poor woman, and they're going to know you think she's a hog.
No, but I think they even know.
Was there a picture of the woman who had drawn up the list of unlikely lust objects? What was she like?
I wouldn't waste my time.
Thanks, mate. I know you're on my side.
Thrills on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant. Object of unlikely lust object, Steve Merchant.
I'd like to have that now, prefixing my name everywhere I'm written about.
I know, yeah. Did he make the freak list?
Whoa!
Which is a different magazine, isn't it? And I'm joking, of course. Carl Pilkington, a man of sort of quiet dignity and in a way he's got his own sort of inner beauty, hasn't he, Carl?
Not really.
Don't you think?
Well, I'll tell you why I don't think it is, because the woman that wrote the piece, saying that I was an unlikely lust object, has just emailed in. And Carl, you've offended her quite considerably.
What did he say?
Why?
I wouldn't waste my time, is what you said. She's repeated that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't waste my time, the flaming cheek. Although it's a horrible picture, I am, of course, in real life, a vision of loveliness. I'm not 38, I'm 25. I don't think Stephen's that unlikely lust object. A sense of humour is important, and he's welcome to my phone number if he wants it.
Is
That sense of humour is important. That's a
she
down.
a swinger?
Stop it!
Don't have a go at the woman, for
I'm
goodness sake.
messing about. She knows I'm messing about.
Well, how are you messing about?
I've told you this though. I've told you that anyone could be listening, haven't I? I've told you that before. Things you say, but we encourage him. We say, "What does she look like?" But it's meant to be rhetorical. That was a joke. That was Steve's joke. What does she look like? I.e., him joking, like, "Oh, I'll call her up because I'm on a list," and then you have to say that. I mean, that's what I mean. So chances are, if she likes Stephen, she hasn't seen him, she listens to the radio. So, the likelihood is that, she was listening to this show.
Yeah.
So, think.
Will I drop the thing I was going to do about Lisa Riley?
Well,
She's not listening.
Some people deserve it.
She's still at lunch.
What, from Tuesday? There's an all-you-can-eat place going out of business as we speak.
Oh, bloody hell, she's back, you killed me, I gotta do Bambino, please leave now! Please leave! So,
No, but she knows I was only messing. This, this
everyone knows you're only messing, we're all only messing. I hope we don't offend anyone of, any kind out there. We're only joking, aren't we, Carl?
Yeah.
Say something nice about her.
What can you remember of the picture that you could say was good? Maybe she was wearing some
It
nice
wasn't
clothes.
anything, to be honest. I'll have another look and have a look. I think she had a nice shirt on or something. Yeah.
Forthcoming single from British Sea Power, that's called Carry On.
I love it.
It's great.
It's fantastic. On XFM 104.9.
What do you make, Carl, of these people? I was reading a paper today. They've been queuing up for 12 hours last night for the new Harry Potter book.
Oh, God. Oh, God, it really annoys me. Everything, oh, God, it really annoys me.
But who has to... I mean, I know it's just a kind of willful sort of stubbornness.
I see adults reading it,
Well, I was up in Hampstead last night, and there's a Waterstones branch of that, and there were a couple of people outside, queuing, waiting for it to open.
What do they look like?
Well, I mean...
They're like the ones that come out of Forbidden Planet on a Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? There was one guy, I mean, I don't mean to disrespect him, but he was a big bloater, wearing shorts, I don't want to see his big fleshy legs. He looked like John O'Coleman, if I'm not...
There's nothing wrong with John
He
O'Connor.
wore a knapsack. They always seem to have knapsacks for some reason.
Well, they got old papers in there, haven't they?
Exactly.
Got a 9-year supply of
There was
them there.
about 4 of them. There was a couple of women, a couple of guys. All looked basically the same. They were interchangeable. And,
We'll get
they were there
from them in a minute.
Yeah. I am the fat bloke with fleshy legs.
yeah. I recognise your description.
I like to read these books whilst listening to XFM of a Saturday.
Yeah. I was sort of watching them from where I was, and they must have been there for about an hour and a half. They're obviously strangers. Their common interest was Harry Potter. They were sort of chatting to each other for about an hour and a half. So as I'm leaving, I wander past them. An hour and a half in to them having met each other, the conversation is, all I heard was, well, of course, apparently she cried when she finished the last one. And I thought, they've not moved on. The conversation had not moved on.
No, they might have been talking about Dawn French and her chocolate orange. By then.
Yeah.
I know she cried when she finished the last one once.
Yeah. But I've got no time for them. Pop into Woolworths now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, get it tomorrow, then. You're going to get home at 1:30 and start reading it.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
So you can put it on the internet.
Oh, God.
Your opinions.
Oh, it annoys me.
It is extraordinary. The whole kind of Harry Potter phenomenon has passed me by.
I know. Well, good luck to her,
But you meet adults who are, you say, what are you doing this year? I'm just rereading Harry Potter. What, you couldn't follow it the first time?
Yeah. I mean, it's not her fault. She made £300 million by writing a few books for her kids. Well done. But I'm sure they. I mean, I'm not sure they're very good. But I haven't read them. I'm sure they're not. But no, I don't know. No, I'm joking. I've no idea.
A book about a little wizard.
With glasses.
Yeah, and make millions. It's so easy. If you think it's so easy, you do it.
You like him because you look a bit like him.
Well,
I wonder if he's on that wish list. That woman who emailed in. Why was she making a list of unlikely?
Can we leave this now?
No, but I mean, what was it? What was context was it? It was like, here's my top 10 weird-looking fellas that I do. What was it? No, but what was? She was talking about what? She started talking about. What? Body waxing, and went, and by the way, while I'm here, here's 10 blokes that I would if I had to, and they're a bit weird, you'll be surprised. What was the context?
I forgot.
He's scared to say anything now! He's scared to say anything! Oh, bless him.
I just was looking at a picture because I was attracted to it because she was good looking and that didn't read on. Is that alright?
Well done. That's got you out of that little mess.
Yeah.
Well done.
But, Harry Potter.
You can't be honest with it. Have you read them?
No, because the first time it came out, I was a bit confused, wasn't I? because I thought it was
Of
about
course you
rabbit.
were. Yeah. Of course what?
This is a what? It's a book.
No, I got confused with the little rabbit. I thought it was her, didn't I? You talked about it when it first...
Beatrix Potter.
Yeah, I got mixed up with that, so I sort of missed out on the first one anyway.
You were just running around confused.
So it was like it was sort of too late to get into it, I think, after...
Yeah, it's too late now, yeah. It's impossible. Same with Shakespeare, if you weren't around, the day he wrote the first ones, there's no point in going back.
But it's all the fuss that she's getting as well, like,
Well, I think it's because she's a British industry now, isn't she? I mean, it must have made, what, billions?
Well, it's the perfect success story. She writes a story for her children, and it becomes a worldwide phenomenon. You know, it's not cynical. It's just a great story.
Did your dad ever pop anything down in writing?
I'll tell you what, my mum wanted to do it.
Yeah.
There's been loads of things, little inventions she's come up with and that, but she's been too busy doing other stuff. But she used to come up with stories for me as a kid that I'm sure if they came out they'd be a success.
Yeah.
Go on.
Do you remember any of them?
There was one about a little red car. But the one that was really good was about a kid who gets a dog, right? But it's quite an old dog.
This is going to be an episode of the Walt ones, isn't it? Go on.
And he's playing with the dog and that, but it starts getting a bit old. It's about 15 or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, it's rubbish, this dog.
I would love that one for kids. I would love that one. Tommy went, oh, Mummy, my dad's, oh no, kill it then. Kill it then. Shall I? Yeah, just throw it in the lake. I'll get you another one. Do you want a Nintendo? Yeah. Kick the rabbit to death then. Or no food for you.
Oh,
brilliant.
Come on.
Jump, Van Halen on XFM 104.9. Right, come on and Carl, we've got a lot to fit in now. We've insulted a lot of people. Only about 25 minutes to go. We've got Monkey News, we've got Rockbusters, and we got a cheeky figure of the week this week.
Could cram it in, so we do.
Do we want to hear the end of Carl's story?
Yeah, what's
really
the kid, little Timmy and his 15-year-old dog Lucky got a bit bored with it.
Right, so he said, oh Mum, this dog's rubbish and that, I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
So she goes...
How old were you when your mum was telling you this story?
I don't know, about 4.
Okay.
It wasn't last week on holiday.
Right, so she goes, oh alright then, we'll get you another one.
Yeah.
She goes, brilliant.
What did you do with the old one?
Just kept it, but didn't sort of play with it.
Just ostracised it.
Yeah.
So it's over pretty well. Or curl up and die.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
So,
what's he getting? What sort of dog?
I think it was a little baby, like Labrador.
Puppy.
Not puppy, yeah.
Yeah, Labrador,
Right.
good one. Good choice for a second dog.
So,
Yeah.
so
I'm loving this story.
It's a great
I'm
story.
actually loving this story.
So,
Where does he live?
I don't know, it didn't matter. It was near a lake.
Well, that's when they're getting rid of all the
Yeah.
dogs.
Yeah.
We'll get, that'll make sense in a minute, right? So he's got a little dog, he's playing around with it, playing with its belly and stuff. He's thinking this is brilliant, best dog I've ever had, right? And the other dog sat in the corner looking all fed up,
Yeah.
right? So,
I like this story.
so he says to his mum, right, I'm taking little puppy down the park.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, take the old one with you. And he goes, oh, do we have to?
It's a moral, isn't it? I bet the old one saves him.
So he goes, oh, do we have to? She goes, yeah, still needs a walk and that. Crapping all over the house, right?
Yeah.
So takes it down the park, right? And he's playing around and he's playing near the lake, right?
Is the puppy near the lake, Carl? Because this is what's worrying me.
Yeah.
Puppy's near the lake,
Yeah.
right? That jumps in.
Yeah.
The kid goes, oh God, he jumps in. Remembers he can't swim,
Yeah. Idiot.
right?
This kid is based on you, isn't it?
Almost certainly.
Flapping about. Water's going everywhere. He's going, I can't. Oh God! And he wants the puppy to help him, but the puppy's just like drowning as well.
Yeah.
The old dog comes up, drags them both out. He goes, I can't believe it. I said I was fed up with you.
Yeah.
You saved my life.
Yeah.
He gets home, and he says to his mum,
Kill the little one.
puppy.
Kill the puppy.
Yeah. So it's good little.
What does he say when he gets home?
He said, I don't need the puppy now. I've got
Brilliant. Brilliant. Genius.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, so the moral of that story
Well,
is
they
just
show-
follow your whims.
They just yeah. If you get bored, and just get another puppy.
Another dog.
If you get bored with the old one again, just do it again. I mean,
Yeah.
just eventually, get something
Yeah,
that you
they're
like.
only
A little.
dogs, who cares?
Yeah. That's brilliant. That is a brilliant story, though.
Right, so that's that. Rockbusters.
Yes.
I don't want you to have monkey news right now. We've just had a little story there.
Sure.
You don't want to, don't want to go too far. Yeah, go on.
So we'll get Rockbusters out of the way. Have we got a winner?
Yeah, come on then. See, it worries me that we've had very few entries. I think that even your mental fans aren't getting these, which is really worrying. They must be terrible clues this week.
Alright, well...
Has anyone got them right, Steve?
I think there's just one guy, yeah, who I suspect has won in the past.
Well,
There we are.
so what?
Right, the first one. If you go out of France by boat, you might as well buy your fags when you're on that, because you'll get them a lot cheaper.
Brilliant.
Right?
Yeah.
BF.
Yeah.
Buy it ferry. Right? That's like...
What?
Buy on ferry.
What?
Buy on ferry.
What's that? Is that a band?
What?
What is it? I don't know what it is.
Brian Ferry.
Brian Ferry? What's that got to do with buying on a ferry, though?
Just because it's quite close to it. Buy on ferry.
What?
Buy on ferry.
Sorry, what's your
first
first
one.
language?
The second one.
That's rubbish, that doesn't count.
No,
Brian Ferry.
Brian Ferry, buy on ferry.
There's this little foreign cafe. It's growing its own steak. That's Delamitri. The third one.
What? Sorry, what? What is that? What is that? Delamitri.
Deli is a little foreign cafe.
Yeah?
A meat tree and that.
A meat tree? A meat tree? What were the initials for that?
Just D for that.
Just D for that?
Yeah.
So not DA?
So you didn't even give him a chance to get the group?
Don't think they got it.
Well, no.
No, they didn't. Right, it's the end. Go on, right. Go on.
Deli meat tree?
Deli meat tree. One word. D. Or any letter.
They're growing their own meat.
M's in it. Go on. Okay, so Bayern, I love Bayern Ferry. And
Can I just point out, Rick-
Oxford Music was brilliant. I love Oxford Music. Go on.
Can I just point out, Rick, that we've had
David Bowie?
Deli meat tree?
Yeah.
I don't see why necessarily Aidan, who emailed in, why he doesn't get to win, because he emailed in dire steaks. Seems to me just as valid, as far as I can tell, but Deli meat tree it is.
And the last one, if there was a Jamaican fella on the Titanic...
I'm looking forward to this. With a little bit of fear.
Jamaican fella, if he was on the Titanic, he probably would have screamed this.
Yeah.
That's Christ de Burgh.
Stunning.
So who's the winner?
I'm not going to give to anyone. I just don't...
What's the Jamaican bit got to do with it?
It's the D. It's Christ de Burgh.
Say it again.
No, I think they've worked it out now.
Say it again.
Christ de Burgh.
And who's that?
What?
Who's that?
Who's what?
Who's Christ de Burgh?
Chris de Burgh. Who's the winner, Steve?
Do you know what? I'm going to give it to Aidan, because he just treated you with nothing but contempt. Steve Martin emailed in again. He got the first two, and then the last one he just emailed, I neither know nor care about this answer. I'm tempted to give him.
Do you know what you've done there, don't you?
Well,
You've put the nail in the coffin of Rockbusters. I warned you for 3 weeks, and you sort of bucked your ideas up for a little while. But Christ de
Those are
Burgh,
the worst you've ever done.
the worst of them, Delimitri, so, and didn't just put D, and then Bayern Ferry. Bayern Ferry. Bayern Ferry.
so... Right, then, aren't we doing it
Play
anymore?
record.
Aren't we doing it
I'm
anymore?
ashamed.
You're an idiot.
Are we doing it anymore?
I'm just going to keep saying you're an idiot.
Play a
Are we
record.
doing
Carl,
it
have you learnt nothing from Dr. Fox?
Yeah.
That's not Sony out the window.
Huh?
Aren't we doing it anymore?
What, you need to start working on it now because they're so good. You need to start working now for next Saturday.
Aren't we doing it anymore?
Just, I don't know.
Aren't we doing it?
Cardigans. You're the Storm on XFM 104.9. Well, nearly the end of the show, but we wouldn't let them down, would we? You know what it is now, don't you? Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right. Now, whilst was in Cornwall, I wasn't online. I didn't have the internet, so it was like, oh, what am I going to do? And I didn't come back till yesterday. And I thought there's loads going on that I don't know about in the monkey world and stuff. I was hoping to get some from the zoo that I was meant to be going to. Of course, that didn't happen. So I said to my dad, do you know anything about monkeys? Or have you got any stories with monkeys?
Brilliant. This is what Trevor McDonald does.
Turned out...
Quarter to 10, he goes, oh, got nothing. Dad, anything happened? You got anything politics? Anything politics, Dad?
This isn't monkey news, I'm just giving you this free.
Yeah, brilliant.
Turned out one of his mates used to have a chimp.
Right.
What do you mean one of his mates used to have a chimp?
Well, two of his mates. Mind you,
Oh,
one
sorry,
wasn't
yeah,
a mate, one wasn't a mate.
I was thinking it sounds a bit far-fetched living in Manchester, like, but if there was two of them...
He had a chimp, had to thump it in the head.
You're doing what? Answering back?
Oh, God!
Tried it on with his wife.
Had to thump it in the head for trying it on with his wife! I love it. It's a proper fist fight in a pub in Manchester. Oh.
I'd call him up, but he's one of them who, like, swears all the time.
Right.
Oh.
I mean, it'd be good to get him on and just...
Let's interview him. Can we not interview him pre-record? We can bleep out the swear. I'd love to hear his
do a
story.
lot of work, like.
Yeah, well, we're not scared of work,
No, I
obviously.
mean, I'll
you
do it
know.
myself if you can't be bothered.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know, so...
I'll have a word, I'll sort it out.
Yeah, try and sort that out next
you
week.
sort that out, yeah.
Well, don't tell us the rest of the story then. Let's let him say it in his own
No, but
words.
there was another one as well. Some
When
fella...
you say you can get him on, but he swears a lot, you mean the monkey? I'm assuming he's more coherent than your dad's mate.
But there's him, and there's some other fella he knows who had a funny name. I'll have to find out, 'cause you'll love his name. But he was a drag artist.
Yeah.
And, I think he said my dad went round one day, I don't know why, right? Went around there, knocked on the door, chimpanzeed.
Carl, I don't know what you're doing, mate. I don't know where this place you live, next door there's an horse in the front room. There's chimps
Mad,
running
innit?
round.
Mad. Anyway,
Chimpanzees!
Is that it? Is that the end of the story? There's a chimpanzee in the door and that's the end.
You sure it wasn't the drag artist before he shaved?
no,
Sure it wasn't your gran?
Because I like the really airy ones that decide they can be female impersonators. Yeah, your gran.
Anyway.
Go on, this is the monkey news. So you got that for free. What's this going to be like,
Well, let's
Steve?
have more jingles.
Okay. Oh, chimpanzee that! Monkey news extra!
Okay.
Right, another phrase, we've been talking about phrases today.
Yeah, we have,
Don't teach your
yeah.
granny when she's shaving.
Yeah.
Don't teach your granny to suck eggs.
Yeah.
Don't look a horse in the mouth.
Yeah. Don't let the chimp answer the door if you're tucking your cock in.
Familiar with the phrase monkey business?
No, never heard that one before, Carl. That's brilliant.
Right, well, it came about, this has been emailed in and I haven't really had a chance to look at it, so I'm just weighing it up now. Yeah.
This is pretty shambles on air, isn't it? Really?
Oh, I'm ashamed of it.
I mean, what was Dr. Fox? Dr. Fox must have been really polite. He must have been thinking, I don't know how to put this. He must have wanted to scream and go, you shouldn't be in the radio authority.
My parents listen online, I can't look them in the eye.
Right, I think I've weighed it up. Long time ago, right?
Yeah,
In the,
olden days, yeah.
in
Go
the Amazon jungle,
Yeah.
right? Little family of monkeys in there,
Mm-hmm.
right? Having a good life, right? Didn't have any predators in there, right? So, they were
Yeah.
they had a load of food around them, they had loads of banana trees,
Yeah.
right?
No, I don't think so.
No, they did.
Sorry, yeah.
Everything's going great, so they're happy in that. They go to bed,
Okay.
wake up in the morning, load of bananas gone.
Ooh, hang on, interesting.
Hold on, wait a minute.
So,
Either your dad's been around, or...
This isn't the great Amazon banana robbery, is it?
so anyway, turns out it was another load of monkeys from another part of the island, from the rough bit.
From the rough bit! I love it! They went into a middle class area.
they're the ones with the earrings and the leather jackets.
Oh, that is brilliant! From a rough part of the island.
So the monkeys thought, well, there's no point getting into a fight with them because they're harder than we are.
Yeah, of course, and they carry chains.
So
I love all this
They've got
conjecture.
flip knives and tattoos.
Yeah, go on.
so basically, they said, let's do some business with the bananas.
Let's do some business with the bananas.
Shit!
What are you talking about?
Oh, Christ!
Right, calm down, we haven't got much time left.
Oh God! What do you mean this?
Forget it.
No, don't forget it. Carl, do not
Sorry,
push that. Switch the record off. Switch the record off, Carl.
What are you talking about? What did they do? Oh,
Let's do business with the bananas.
yeah.
So they said, well, rather than them coming robbing them, we'll flog them. So that put a stop to it then. The monkeys came. They didn't have money. He said, give us some bananas. And it says
So what, they exchange bananas for bananas?
for berries and nuts. So that's where the phrase monkey business
No, it's
comes from. Little business
No.
to set up.
Right, oh God, that's the end of that as well. So that's the end. That is a shame. That's the end of Rockbusters and Monkey News. Well done. You've done it in one show. Well, there's the best band in Britain, in my opinion.
Big words.
The Darkness, Growing on Me, on XFM 104.9, and Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, and Carl Pilkington.
Have you got the album?
And already, they've had an argument.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't know whether we need to cheapen the show by discussing it, but I asked for a particular track. Carl is the producer, and he failed to get it for me. He's failed to bring it up from the record library. Completely failed in his mission. He needed to get 2 records, and he failed to get one of them. A 50% error rate there.
Yeah, but like I said, I looked in the system. It told me what album it's on. I brought that album up. I'm busy.
But, okay, so fine, you're absolutely fine then, that's no problem. You know, once again, that's a great excuse, Carl, brilliant. The show has been ruined, it's been partially ruined, but you've got a bit of an excuse.
Alright, I didn't make a big deal out of it when you said, oh, and whilst you're down there, get us a new 50 cent single.
I never said, while you're down there, get the new 50 cent single. I asked you if 50 cent single was lying around.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been here, I wouldn't have worried.
So I get it, yeah, I did that for you.
Right.
When I come up, you say, has it got swearing in it? Well, I don't know, it's 5 to 1, Steve.
You're the
I haven't got time, I've been
producer!
whizzing
You're the
around.
producer! It's the brand new single. I thought it had been lying around in the XFM office anyway.
But I don't have time to sit around listening to music,
Sure, well, yeah.
right? I know that you have, now you've got an iPod that can hold 7,500 songs. I don't know when you're going to get round to loading all them on, but I haven't got the time.
Sure.
Busy.
Yeah. Fine, okay, no, that's a perfect excuse, Carl. Well done, mate. I just hope that I never have to depend on you in a real emergency.
I had a bit of bad luck as well. I wanted to play REM, and maybe the listener can help me here. Can you email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you know what song I'm thinking of? It's an REM song. I think it's on the album of the last one before. And he says Mulholland Drive and I'm Steve McQueen. That's all I know. I'm sorry, I can't think of the title, so we can't. I need the title to look it up, if you know what I mean. I can't put in like that. I can't put in Mulholland Drive. The system goes, what are you talking about? So I need the actual title of the song to look it up to find it down in the library.
Oh, well, I'd go down yourself if you're going to go down to the library and get that. I wouldn't send Carl, because...
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
But if he wanted to, he did have time, because he came in at 12 rather than 5 to 1.
Yes. No, I told you about that record that I wanted it yesterday, didn't I? So you've had 24 hours notice. So that's not really an excuse, is it?
But I did find one of my favourite songs of all time, which is Bones off the Benz album, and it's Radiohead on XFM 104.9.
And here it is, because you gave me lots of time
Yeah.
to find it. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Could have brought it in himself.
no swearing in it.
Bones. Radiohead. The Bends on XFM 104.9. And thanks to Paul, who's
Actually,
emailed
there's
in.
a whole bunch of other people.
Oh,
Nick,
lots of people.
Davey,
Wow.
Steve, Ashley...
It's Electrolyte. You know, it all comes flooding back now. We've got that. I've got it out of the library. We're going to play that. That's done. It's interactive. I've used the listener. I've shown the listener, right? I've helped them to help themselves.
Sure.
I've said, if you want to hear it, tell me what it is. They told me what it is. They're going to hear it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Perfect.
Saves going down the library and, well, we don't...
Yeah, well, we know mistakes can happen if that, you know, if you have to go down the line.
Yeah, and I mean, I checked it though to make sure it was the right one, you see. So it's just a little bit of...
Well, it's a good rule that generally, if you pick something up a CD,
That's
you know,
right,
you want
yeah.
to play on a radio
Sort
show,
it
a
out
live radio
yourself.
show, you normally check at the back. Oh, no, yeah, that's right, yeah, if you want a job done, do it yourself. You're absolutely right, Carl.
Yeah, so...
But anyway, look, let's all make friends. Let's kiss and make up.
Yeah, touch and make up.
Yeah.
Let's
just.
Well, I'm up on Carl at the moment because it was my birthday in the week, and not only has he bought me a little vibrating thing to put on the chair because I got about that, so that vibrates. That.
Actually, I can hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do it between records now.
Right. And what's that doing to you as you?
It's just it sort of like sends a little pulse into your sort of muscles, relaxes, doesn't it? I've got to relax on air. If I'm relaxed, the listeners relax. We're all happy.
Sure.
He's also got me this little electronic bongos, and I thought we could do like, oh, chimpanzee that, monkey news. So it's like a jungle sort of thing.
Sure. Yeah. Brilliant. Well, that's one of the great jingles, but even helps.
So I've got the vibrating. Oh, chimpanzee that! Monkey news!
So, Dr. Fox, if you're listening, I think you'll know that's a clear improvement in this show.
So thank you for those.
It's alright.
Honestly.
What did you get him?
What did I get him? I couldn't get him anything, I was too busy buying myself an iPod.
Are you joking?
Well, it's a little bit gay, isn't it, giving gifts to blokes?
Yeah, it is, but for someone who's like major...
Play a record!
Someone who's major? What do you mean, someone who's major? What, because he's a major celebrity?
No, made you.
Oh, made you?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what
Yeah.
Crazy beat. Blur, alright? On XFM 104.9.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so I also got, Jane got me a few nice presents, including my favourite of all of them, a real bow and arrow.
A real bow and arrow?
Yeah.
Right. And what, you know, you're going to rob from the rich and give to the poor?
Yeah! I've just got to make the little outfit.
You and your merry men.
This has got me like 2 yards of green felt.
Sure, yeah.
And I've just got to find
and
a tailor.
house.
Someone who can make me a lovely little natty outfit.
Yeah. Why has she bought you a bow? You live in central London, so where are you going to be using
We've got a
this?
garden, I did it yesterday. I've got my finger though, because I'm meant to protect it, so it's just, oh, it goes so fast, isn't it?
I didn't understand that sentence. I'm here in the studio. I saw you point to your finger, so I'm guessing from that maybe you injured your finger.
Yeah.
For the listener, again, what exactly were you talking about then?
No, because when you pull it back, it...
Okay.
So...
And do you have a target? What do you use as a target?
I got a big cardboard box flat on it, down the tree.
Right.
I go, oh, that's brilliant.
Sure.
I'm getting a bit excited thinking about it.
Yeah, no, indeed.
Because when I make that outfit, I'm going to be running round.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and do you have a picture, like a face maybe on the target, like Osama bin Laden, something like that?
Yeah.
Sure.
No, it just says this way up, fragile.
Right. Okay.
I forget what came in it, but you know, it's good fun, isn't it, Carl? Bow and arrow, isn't it? Yeah. Would you like a little bow and arrow?
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah.
I forced out a rifle as a kid.
Did you?
Yeah,
A real one?
yeah, just shooting cans and stuff.
Yeah.
It's alright. So.
Well, a wonderful anecdote.
Well, I went out with a drink with Carl in the week, and we went to a restaurant, didn't we, Carl?
Good night.
And we sat there, and next to me, when Carl came, next to me was what's his name? Ross Kemp. And he was sitting there, and I saw Carl, and I tapped him on the shoulder, Ross Kemp on the shoulder, and I pointed to Carl and him, and I said, "It's nice to see you two back together again."
Nice.
And Carl was horrified. But Carl didn't know that I'd already spoken to him before Carl arrived.
Yeah,
so I thought it was okay. I thought I could break the ice because I'd met him before.
Sure.
So he just thought I was insulting him. And when in the week we were talking about his little head, weren't we, Carl? And Carl suddenly stopped the conversation and said, "If I had hair, what would we be talking about now?" I think he had enough of everyone talking about it. And he looked good though. It's a special little do. He had it sort of, cropped a little bit more. I like it when he's just freshly had it done. Do you like? Yeah.
Has that ever happened to you, Steve? If you're somewhere, say if you sat somewhere, does someone sort of, is he anyone else who you look like, or would you say you're a bit of a one-off?
I love these two.
But to be fair, to be fair, he seems to be having a go at me an awful lot more than I do at him now. I mean, he just starts it. Starts it out of nowhere.
I think his is sort of a get back for the way you treat him as a producer, not.
But he's not a producer. If he produced the show, I wouldn't have a reason to criticise.
I think this is it.
But honestly, I mean, it really winds me up though, because, you know, it started as a joke, but now it's abuse.
Yeah. He got annoyed at Heat because it said Carl producer, well, not so much a producer as just a bald mank, and he went, can they say that?
Yeah.
Can they say that?
See, that's a magazine, an independent publication that's identified what exactly it is you do.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go then, go on, bring it on, because here we go, he's looking at me, I know he's thinking, I can hear the cogs
I'm not
working.
thinking anything.
It's
No,
vicious.
that is true. Never a true word. Play a record.
Now then, I heard this on VH1 in the week, and I have not been able to get it out of my head, and I really kind of want to, I want to get it in everyone else's mind now, so they understand the pain I've been going through. Miss You by the Rolling Stones. I hope that's now embedded in your brain, and you can ruin a week by having to sing that constantly, irritating people in shops and everywhere you go. Miss You by the Rolling Stones.
Good track. Good track. Carl, Jonathan Ross came out of this last week, and we were talking about stuff, and Carl was mesmerised when Jonathan told a story that he was bored once in a hotel room and shaved his arse.
He shaved his arse?
Yeah.
Sure.
And Carl, you didn't stop questioning him, did you, about...
I just wondered, at what point do you sort of say, oh, this is getting on my nerves? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's way too long, tugging it in his socks or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not, I mean, it is boring in hotel rooms, because I told you before about when I was in Edinburgh and had nothing to do, there was nothing on the telly, and you sort of, you've eaten the shortbread biscuits, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's when I read the phone book to see how many...
That's when you read the phone book?
Well, to see how many Macs were in Scotland, Macintosh,
Sure.
Yeah.
and it was like, 42 pages worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan, I don't know if he'd already done that. Yeah. And yeah, he said he shaved his arse.
Now, when we say shaved his arse, so
Not his cheeks, his...
Oh, all of it?
Yeah, all of it.
Did he say that?
Well, I think
but other than the cheeks,
But then,
there's not much left.
But then we got to the fact that me and Jonathan, if we pooled our wealth, we could have shaved Carl's arse for £1,000. Right? And he said, yeah, for £1,000 you can shave my arse. Suzanne said, can I say this bit?
Your girlfriend said what, Carl?
She was annoyed. She said, well, I'm not allowed to go there. Why is anyone else? And of course the whole table stopped and leant in and said, what? So he doesn't like me touching him there. I went, what do you mean?
This is too much information.
It was too much information.
I like the fact that you've had this conversation with her. I like the idea that she touched your arse once and you went, whoa, hands off.
Yeah.
I love you, but keep your hands away from the arse.
Do you know why he said he's talking about the most intimate part of the arse, the middle arse he's talking about, and I said, why? He went, it's a bit gay, innit? I said, how can a girl touching it be a bit gay?
If it stood behind you, it could be anyone, couldn't it?
Oh God! And it seemed, I mean, you can imagine the conversations we were having, right? And it's that thing that the waitress heard something every time she came over. She heard the word, like, cock or...
Jonathan Ross saying I shaved my arse.
yeah. And, oh dear. But it was, yeah, it was a good night, wasn't it? So, it's the £1,000 now, isn't it? But presumably you give Suzanne half anyway, so everyone will be happy. You've used the arse to best effect. She's got half out of it, so she's made as much out of your arse as you have, in a sense. Me and Jonathan are happy.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's his arse on the line. So...
I know, but I mean, it's just not like she's getting a bum deal.
Well,
she's getting 500,
yeah,
quid.
No, I understand that.
But, do you reckon?
Just thinking of some more.
Play a record!
Can I just ask, before you play a record, if we were to shave your arse, let's say we did it for charity or something, got sponsorship, how would we do it? Would we use one of those big kind of old-fashioned razors?
No, I'd use a Bic Safety. I'd just straight
And
away.
would you use a gel or a foam?
No, I first of all, yeah, I think I just lather it up. Right,
So you lather
foam.
up his arse first?
And I do the outside bits, just go straight down, big broad strokes, clean, right? Then I'd have to go in the crevices, and I'd need an assistant. I'd pop it apart and just very gently go in there. I might even use electronic equipment just so there was no sort of like nicks.
Okay.
So
How
So an electric razor?
or I might wax the internal middle arse.
How did Jonathan do it? Because he did it on his own, didn't he?
I used to use mirrors. Why do I'll ask him. We'll call him later. But I don't know.
Well, perhaps you listening have once shaved your arse, maybe during an exam or something.
What I think, and this is conjecture, but I think he was probably there, he'd had a shower, he's shaved his face, right, and thought, well, he's naked, looks down and goes, oh, what a hairy arse. Well, I've got the razor in this hand, I've got the mirror there, you know, I'm not on stage for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah.
There's one thing I don't like going on stage with, is a hairy arse. Bang, bring, wallop, done. On stage, thanks, see you later. See you next week. Yeah? What are you thinking, Carl?
No, it's just how airy was it? Do you know what I mean? How airy was it? Because I imagine, you say mirrors and stuff, but he's, how old is he now? He's
42.
And they say your testicles drop quite a bit once you start getting old, don't they?
Yeah.
So but he's got to make sure they're out of the way.
Yeah, but I don't think, I can speak for myself, you know, as a similar age to Jonathan, that, you know, if there's millimetres in it, it's not like we tuck them in our socks in the morning. They're still in the same place. You really wouldn't know the difference. It wouldn't, if we filmed it in, you know, time-lapse camera, it wouldn't be like a bungee jump. Do you know what I mean? They wouldn't be moving a lot.
Yeah.
Alright?
Do you think I told him he's a good-looking fella, Steve? Would you agree with that?
I told Jonathan that he said that he just went for it as well.
Yeah. So you've spent a lot of time picturing Jonathan's naked arse.
You'd let him give you money for arse touchery.
Yeah, whereas your girlfriend's got
no chance, and you're saying he's a good-looking man. Do you want to play a record and think about what you've done?
Interesting.
Energetic people, they all sparkle as they're walking down the street.
50 Cent, 21 Questions, new single from him.
Well, me and Carl got a joint favourite lyric now. I love you like a fat kid loves cake.
Yeah.
That's great, isn't it? I like it because it's funny and humorous and cheeky. You like it because it means something, don't you? You think that's the absolute truth. If someone was to say that to you, that would be the most romantic thing they could say in it, because it's...
No, I'm just thinking you know what it means. It's like the Elephant Man. Right? The Elephant Man, that's what he's called. Again, you know what you're going to get. The fat kid loves cake. You've said it all, you don't have to say any more.
I can't believe it. I'll tell you what made his day the other day.
I love it.
Jonathan Ross said The Elephant Man is one of the best films ever made.
Yeah. Endorsed by a celebrity.
I know. Well, by a film buff, really.
It is good though, isn't it?
It is a very good film, yeah.
We have got Cheeky Freak of the Week.
Oh, right.
There's got a lot of stuff going on this week.
In the freak world?
Yeah.
Has it really?
Yeah, there's loads. Stuff that we can... The one that hasn't made it.
So this is where it hasn't made it, so we'll judge it on that. Go on.
There's a woman, right? Do you know how, in a way I thought Elephant Man, it was a bit tight because, you know, we sort of took him on a freak show, did a bit of a road show with him and stuff.
Yeah.
There's some woman, I think she's in India, like now, who makes a lot of money because she's got 3 legs and like 7 toes, stuff. And she was saying people pay quite a lot of money.
Not Swiddy Patel.
It's not that much money, like, compared to here, but over there, it's like loads of money.
Sure.
And all you do is you go around to her house and you pay this lot of money, and people just go, look at that.
Extra leg.
Extra leg.
Right.
It's quite a lot of money in that.
So she hasn't even got to go out on the road anymore, like in the old days?
No, that's what annoyed me. It's like, well, you could get to them faster. You go and see them if they pay the money.
Sure.
But yeah, what she could do is go in and buy a pair of shoes, right, and then nick one on the way out, because they only put one out, don't they?
Good idea.
So she could get, you know, 2, 3 for the price of 2.
Just one of the many perks of having 3 legs.
3 legs. The other one is, keepy uppy. But she'd be good at that.
She wouldn't do that. She just stays at home and puts her feet up.
But anyway, that's not even Cheeky Freak of the Week.
That's coming up later.
Oh, brilliant.
Now, Rockbusters, Dead in the Water, isn't it? We've killed that off, have we, officially?
We killed off Monkey News and Rockbusters.
Didn't I tell you that there was some sort of petition for Monkey News?
Was there? What was it called?
A lot of, loads of emails and that.
You mean you've done Monkey News? You mean you want to do Monkey News?
No, but seriously, there's uproar. And people were like, you can't get rid of Monkey News.
Yeah.
Don't be doing that.
Loads of people.
Was it
Monkeys? trying to write the complete works of Shakespeare.
Did Tony Blair get a whiff of it, and he's coming
So
down
we're
up a
doing
ton of
Monkey
bricks?
News and Rockbusters, Steve. If you've got a better competition, then we'll do yours. That's fine. Do you know what I mean? If that's what you want to do, we'll do. What did you want to do?
No, I was just wondering whether we should perhaps not do a quiz at all rather than do that piece of rubbish. Might be better to have nothing. Might be better just to have silence during that part of the show than have Rockbusters. I don't know.
If
We
I
should
give
discuss
you
off air.
if I give you the clues and that, and if you think they sound rubbish, we're not doing it.
Well, I know that. I guarantee they're going to sound rubbish. Alright, let's make it the last Rockbusters then. This is the last Rockbusters.
Well, it depends. This is it. Okay, this is just. If it's good, you get a reprieve. It's all about this. Okay.
Okay.
Go on then. Let's do Rockbusters then.
Oh, we're doing it now.
Should we play a record and do it after that?
Do it after. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the prizes and then we'll come back with the clues.
Because I've dug up that REM track,
Excellent.
so it's an interactive show.
Okay, we've got the best summer holiday album ever. What we got on there? It's got
Brilliant.
Elvis versus Junkie XL. That
Yeah.
was brilliant.
Yeah.
Holy Valance is on there.
Yeah.
Laz Ketchup. It's all the stuff that the XFM listener is craving.
Uh-huh.
Tribute to the Ramones album. We got Red Hot Chili Peppers are on there. Metallica. Street Legal from Bob Dylan. That's nice.
Brilliant.
Did you just buy that in the 4 for £20 from HMV deal? Fair enough. Once
That's a
again,
good album.
The Talons of Weng Chiang, a Doctor Who classic.
Yeah.
And there's something for the XFM listener. 8 Mile on DVD.
I
as well.
thought that was nice, that film. That was the last bit was funny. It's a good film.
And some good rap-offs in that as well.
Yeah.
So let's play a tune and then we'll come back with the Rockbusters clues.
REM, go on, give it to him. REM, Electrolyte on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. I walk down Oxford Street every day to go to the office, and it is like running the gauntlet in Gladiator. It's not only is it just like, you know, you have to dodge people and they're dawdling or rushing or, you know, keeping into the road to get past some people but avoiding taxis, but it's like hands everywhere, like leaflets. I don't know, there must be a million leaflets given out. It's all
Mobile phones, sandwich shops.
teach yourself English.
Teach other people English.
I know, and those charity people, something for Alzheimer's, and I've been caught about 6 times where I couldn't say no. I've got about 8 standing orders now because I just couldn't say no when they confront you.
Yeah.
Which is, you know.
It's amazing how often I'm on the way to a meeting. I'm always on the way to a meeting, and then I always feel guilty if I walk past them again 2 minutes later with a HMV bag.
Full.
Yeah, exactly, crammed with bargains.
I know, yeah.
No, it's absolutely weird. They're like zombies. It's like you're fighting them off. You need a flaming torch. to
Yeah.
get past them. Or if it's not them, it's tourists. Just constantly, you know, excuse me, can you take my photo outside HMV? Or outside Topshop?
That doesn't happen to me.
Always seem to have tourists. Just
I
in
think
the
I
way,
walk-
just kind of dawdling, you know,
I
looking up at the
walk so
buildings.
fast. I walk so hard. I put my head down and I just try and walk so fast everywhere now because it's But Oxford Street is just it's unbelievable now, and I think it's age that I've started noticing. Even if the window's open, and I hear just like cars and they're on the mobile phone. It's the loudest place in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know what we can do.
But isn't it one of the busiest streets in? Is it either the world?
The
or
universe?
It is mental.
I think if we carpeted it
That would
and
help,
put some
certainly.
curtains up, it would just deaden. It's like pubs where there's polished floors and metal tables, and everyone's having to talk like that to be heard. The jukebox is quite loud, and I want to go just turn everything down.
Yeah.
Just put some carpet down. Just talk quietly like this.
Yeah.
Put the music down a little bit. We'll have a good time.
I've never quite understood that impulse. I don't, again, if it's age, where you go in a club or a pub, as you say, and the music's just slightly too loud, so it just makes everything slightly tricky. It's slightly tricky to have a
I know.
conversation.
But what annoys me is when it's for the amusement of the barman or barmaid.
Yeah.
If they're bored, they're in a pub, they've got the music up, their music up,
Yeah.
right, techno blaring, right, they've got a telly on, watching a soap opera,
Yeah.
and I want to go, choose one or the other!
Yeah.
I mean, what are you watching?
I got a minicab last night. I imagine you don't travel in minicabs, but the guy driving, one of those guys, I know he's driving a cab on a Friday night. Okay, no one wants to be doing that. And he had one of those phone, you know, the little earpieces that you put in, so it looks like they're talking to themselves. And he's there, and he goes, where are you going? I went, crouching. There you go. Well, and he's chatting on his mobile phone the whole time. His voice was so loud. He had the radio on as well, and he wasn't concentrating on the road. I just felt that I'm paying you £10 here to take me somewhere. Please, just stop chatting or arranging your social life for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Get me to my destination safely, and then you can resume your conversation.
My favourite one is, I'm going to so-and-so terrace, please. Where's that? I want to go right. You're not taking me then.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't drive. I'm paying you.
That's why I'm
Find out.
paying you. That's got to be part of the service.
But I mean, I know people who've been in many cabs, didn't know where I was, and didn't have an A to Z.
No, I was in East London once. I said to him, I'm going to. He went, where specifically? I went, Swiss Cottage. He went, sure. I said, do you know the way? He went, yeah. Set off. Along the way, he went, do you know the way? I said, well, I thought you knew. I said, have you not got an A to Z? He went, no. He was one of those guys who'd just taken his car out middle of the night. That was all he had.
Yeah.
All he had, all his credentials were he had a car. No map, no torch. The two other things I bring with me. And he said, so we're driving along. He went, I could probably get you to Camden. I was like, okay. He went,
To start. I mean, that is the start.
Exactly. He went, do you know the way to Camden? I thought, pull over. It's not worth it. I'd rather hitchhike. I'd rather walk. Ludicrous. Those people who just go out.
Yeah, they just take a car out to earn a
Or a
private.
car.
Oh, have you ever done that?
No, well, I'm sick of living here. And you say know what people hassling you.
When you say here, you mean the world, don't you?
No, just in London is doing me head in now. The other week, actually, walking home from here, and like you say, there's always someone hassling you, saying, do you want to buy this, do you want one of these? Going down Carnaby Street, right?
There's your first mistake.
He said, you into meditation? So I was like, oh, and I had a bit of time to kill, so I thought I'll have a chat, right?
Have you got time? Oh, we've never got time, we're too busy.
Yeah, I thought you were too busy. But
Well, I said, what's all that then? What do you do? And he said, we teach you how to breathe. I was like, well, I'm 30. I think I've done alright. And he sort of said, oh, forget it.
I'm 30.
I mean, in Selfridges, they do, like Evian or whatever, that water company there. And they've got like little glasses of water. And you walk past and go, have you ever tried this? It's water.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go, we'll try it. You go, Jesus Christ, is that what water is? What have I been drinking then? You've been drinking piss and mud. Have I? I'll have a bottle.
Anyway, listen, Rockbusters.
Oh, come on then.
Let's get it done.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on then.
Right, so cryptic clues and initials, you work it out, it's a band and stuff.
Yeah.
Right,
Brilliant.
first one.
Bob Holness.
The first clue, the doctor said part of the foot and the leg was no good, so he took him off and he threw him away. Right, that's the clue, the initials TB. TB, right? The doctor said part of the foot and the leg was no good, so he took them off and threw them away. Second one, the Scottish monster has got a bit of a tan. Right, the Scottish monster has got a bit of a tan.
Okay.
That's TD, right? And the last one, well, the 60s singer had a heart attack whilst he was having it away. We won't be seeing him again. Right, and that's FNM. Well, the 60s singer's had a heart attack. He was having it away. We won't be seeing him again. Email in ricky.gervais.
Remember, this is to save Rockbusters. If people don't get this, right, it's no more. So you better, if you want this feature to stay, you better get the clues.
Right?
Good work, Carl. We'll give those clues again after the next tune. What we play?
Yeah.
Oh, you love it, don't you? You love it.
Good. It's a good stomping pop #1 rock.
XFM.
Jane's Addiction, just because. I think things are rocking up.
They are indeed.
Rocking up in the land this year, Steve.
Yes, that's good news, I think.
Evanescence, them, The Darkness, rock-tastic. XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, and Carl Pilkington of A Saturday.
Can I just say that the shaving your arse feature from earlier, if you missed that was 1:30. That was a discussion on shaving your arse.
Yeah.
It was great stuff. That seems to have caught the public imagination. We've had so many emails. We've had someone telling us exactly how to shave your arse.
Yeah.
So if you need that information, I can probably forward it to you.
Well, I think this will be the year of rock and arse.
Exactly. But it's extraordinary how, just a simple discussion like that you would think perhaps was crass, crude.
Mind you, our listeners do like Carl talking about monkeys.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like it's something to be proud of. It's not like we changed a nation or freed a people or found a cure for something. We hit them in their, at their level with monkeys and arses.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what our listeners love.
Yeah. Monkeys and arses.
Yeah.
We should put that on the poster.
And they go together, because I joined the zoo a last time they went down and became friends of the zoo, right?
Oh right, I thought that you had to sit in a cage for
that thing happened. I went straight for the chimps,
Of course.
right? And there's sort of like 3 sort of big sort of adult ones there, and there's people with their kids, and I could see the people just putting their kids away as one of them went up and started putting his face up the other ones.
Sure.
And it was sort of like, I just can't be able to explain this to my children.
Exactly.
So I was just moving my, oh come on then, there's the lions, let's go and have a look at the lions.
Yeah.
What are they doing? They're just sniffing each other's asses.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember when I used to go to the zoo, I always felt there were certain animals that weren't getting a look in, really, that no one was particularly interested in.
The tapir.
Exactly, we were going straight to the snakes we were interested in.
Yeah.
Birds, I don't remember being particularly interested in birds.
Big cats, although it's a bit depressing. Great apes. Reptile, you're right, reptiles, yeah. Birds, unless it's a big one that you think can rip a dog apart.
Yeah, a vulture
you go,
or an eagle,
brilliant. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Owls are brilliant.
Yeah, owl's great, but
I've always wanted a little owl on my desk. And I'd be doing work, and there'd be a little owl there, and I go, can you give me that pencil? And it just sort of goes over and gets me a pencil, goes, cheers, and it just watches me, and it thinks I'm brilliant. Do you know what I mean?
Not really, no.
No?
No, I've never noticed to have any kind of animal sat on my desk.
No, Carl? You'd like a little owl, wouldn't you, that helped you?
No, I had a little magpie, didn't I? We've talked about that.
Oh, he came down and started pecking your grifter, didn't he?
Yeah.
What was his name?
Maggie.
Sure.
Brilliant.
Inspired.
And you took it to school and it didn't come back once,
Didn't
did
come back, didn't come back. Didn't see it again.
Oh, dear. Did it ever peck your head? Because you used to have hair, didn't you? Yeah.
No, it did. It started getting a bit violent.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it becoming sort of age where adolescents probably sexual frustration sort, you know, because I think magpies go for shiny objects, don't they? And you were probably sort of probably losing it a little bit then in the front, and so when the sun was out,
There's a bit of a sheen on the front.
they saw a glare and thought, I'll have that.
Yeah.
What is that? That's brilliant.
Yeah. Well, as it was sort of pecking away, it mistook it for a tree.
Yeah, because of the noise.
Because of the
it made.
noise. Yeah, the hollow sound.
I squeezed his head yesterday.
We should just point out, if you're a new listener to XM, you might not realise that one of Ricky's many sexual peccadillos, I'm assuming it's a sexual thing, I can't justify it any other way, is to just squeeze Carl's head.
Yeah.
Front
I don't know what it
wise,
is.
sidewise.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's sexual or, you know, like when you've got a little kitten, you want to squeeze his little face. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by that, Carl?
Yeah, I said that. I said it before, squeeze a little head.
Yeah, exactly, and I feel that with you, because it's sort of like, he gives so much. Look at Carl's face, he gives so much. It is like he can understand what we're saying.
Yeah.
And that's what the connection is, I think, between me and Carl and other animals.
It's like he can understand what we're saying.
But I squeezed it yesterday, and Carl went, I definitely had something crack.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to see how hard I can squeeze it.
Yeah, I think that was you just thinking, Carl. To be fair. I think the cogs just started to... No, I mean, I think there is a danger, because I think there is a danger that you could squeeze it too much.
Yeah, I know. He did a good deed today, the other day, didn't you?
Oh.
Was it, yeah.
What were you up to?
You were just, you were talking about, like, you know, being hassled in the street and stuff. And, I get hassled a lot by the homeless.
Don't we all?
You should go home to sleep. I'm here, mate.
But no, I do treat them a lot.
You treat them. Love that. You had a good day? Yeah. You been good? Yeah. There you go. That's 50p.
Suzanne does the Save the Children thing. You were talking about, you know, charities hassling you all the time. She does that. And I sort of say, well, you do that. I'll look after you.
You'll take care of the homeless.
I'll take care of the odd tramp round where I live.
And how do you treat them?
Loads of different ways. 50p I might give them.
Yeah.
Or I might, you know, they'll sort of say, oh, have you got any money? I'll say, what for? And they'll go, I'm really thirsty. So I'll go, well, hang on a minute, and I nip and get them a little Diet Coke.
Sure, Diet Coke?
Yeah, they want to watch their weight.
Yeah. They're going full fat. Oh, what an insult.
Yeah, exactly.
To a man like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather treat them than... Because a lot of people spend money on, you know, problems abroad and stuff.
Right.
Oh,
I just think, you know...
Yeah,
No, I'm just saying.
Like what? What do you mean? Like famine relief?
Well, you do get sick of it, don't you? You know what I mean? It's not...
You get sick of
No,
it.
I'm just saying.
Wait.
Go on, I'm just...
I know, just let whatever you do now, Steve, don't interrupt, because I'm scared, but I just think it's worth it. There's so many issues. There's freedom of speech, there's we're not responsible, there's he'll get away with it because he's a buffoon,
Yes.
and it is entertaining.
Exactly.
So, go on.
all I'm saying is you're saying, you know, who do I give me money to? Is it, you know, little, you know, sick kids or whatever, or is it old people or whatever?
HMV. That's where he gives his money to.
Usually they get a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, I just get sick of you know, problems abroad. It's like, what do you do? What do you do with the famine and that? What are you meant to do? How can you solve it? It's gone on for years.
Yeah.
It just keeps going. We keep giving them money. They keep spending it.
And you're not getting any return for your cash.
Well, it's just how many times, you know, they've got to learn.
What do you mean they've got to learn? What, you're going to teach them a lesson?
What do you mean they've got to learn? What do you mean?
Well, what are they doing with it? Yeah, they must have like better interest accounts or something where, you know, look after, put the money in the right things.
Sorry, do you think that Bob Geldof sort of writes him a cheque? He goes over and he's in the helicopter and there's millions of them, and they go, it's Geldof from Boomtown Rats.
Brilliant. If there's one man that can help us.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't sing. He's not going to sing. He's got some money for us. And he comes down and he goes, do you want a cheque or do you take Switch? They go, we don't take Switch. He goes, there's a cheque. They get things
doing
like...
it again though, isn't he, as well? I mean, alright, you know, he used to work here, Bob. He's a lovely fella and that. But,
yeah, he's a lovely man.
But how many times can you save the world? You know, he's over there again helping out, and it's like, well, you know, what do you do?
Are you saying don't bother because it keeps happening?
Not well, I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? I'm not daft.
So that's what you're thinking.
And Carl, you are daft.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what the answer is. Do you know what I mean?
So you're just saying wash your hands of the whole affair, leave them to it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Are you really just saying it's sort of, it's nature, it's tough luck, just don't interfere? Like a wildlife programme? Is that what you're saying? Don't interfere?
Basically you're saying it's not my concern?
This has got a bit heavy. Can we do Cheeky Freak of the Week?
Oh, God! Oh.
My Hey Hey Out of the Blue from the album Rust Never Sleeps by Neil Young.
Such a brilliant song.
Oh, he's a great musician.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's incredible. I think we're playing Neil Young track a week.
Okay.
From now until Christmas.
Brilliant, okay.
Alright?
Excellent.
On XFM 104.9, I'm looking over with Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington.
We were talking about the homeless. I saw a homeless guy in the week as I was walking down Finchley Road, and he was peering in the window of one of the Dixons or something like that, just checking out the details on one of those cable TV packages. And I thought, one step at a time. I mean, firstly, I don't know, start eating your dinner off a plate.
Yeah.
And then work your way up to, you know, a house, a home, a widescreen TV,
a roof,
digital television. But it's odd.
Well, that might answer one of the questions, because I keep getting recognised by homeless people, and I never know what to say. I think, well, either they're not really homeless, and they've got sort of digs or something, and they watch television, or the scariest one is that they've become homeless in the last few months since the office, and I think, oh God, that's really scary. Or they are watching it in Dixon's. They're going, the office is on tonight.
yeah.
What are you doing? Yeah. Going down to Dixon's.
Or they think you're one of them.
Or that, well, I have
the way you dress.
Well, no, some that are probably not quite, got their faculties, so maybe a bit worse, think they recognise me. And they old scenarios where they're going, remember we were chatting, I was going, yeah, how are you? And it's just they recognise someone.
Right, yeah.
But that's a bit weird. But I mean, I think that's the worst thing. On a serious note, it is outside health. We're talking about charity, and I don't know, I sort of got this standard as well. I've been sort of like caught in the street. But the ones that I'd choose, I'd always think charity is what touches you. You can't change the world, but you can change your bit. So cancer, obviously, because I'm mum, so I give to cancer. And I think outside health, the next one must be being homeless, because there's nothing you can do. It's got everything. You're scared, you're cold. It's just everything. Even if you're healthy and homeless, eventually you're not going to be.
Well, I do feel bad because, you know, I always feel that I want to give to the health charities. Like cancer, for instance, because there's that fear that I might get it.
Well, yeah, it's not just that. It's just like, if you're not healthy, that's the first thing, isn't it? If your life's being threatened, there's nothing else you can really worry about.
Yeah. But I don't know if that makes it wrong though. That I'm it's like I'm investing in a possible future.
Yeah. Well, not really, because it's the same for everyone, isn't it? But you know.
Yeah.
But,
I saw a homeless guy as well, looking through the bins, but he wasn't putting out food and scraps. He was putting out newspapers. Just having a read.
Yeah.
I always find that odd. I see that a lot, homeless guys. I don't know if they're just checking out the TV listings. Or when he finally gets his
When's the office on?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Office. They've moved it. They've moved it to Choice and UK Gold.
I don't blame him, because I mean there is some cracking stuff on cable TV. There's some great stuff. But I was flipping through the other day, and on digital TV you can see what other shows are on while you're watching something. I was flipping through it, and there was one, and it was called. Now, when are you ever in the mood to watch a TV show called "I Survived a 200-pound Tumour"?
When was that on?
Because it seems to me that if you've got a 200-pound tumour, you probably want to watch something else that'll take your mind off it, Big Brother or whatever.
I'm not £200.
Well, I can't imagine what this is.
A £200 tumour.
It must have been an error. 200-pound tumour?
It must have been a £200 tuna. It was probably someone fell in the water.
Yeah.
And it came
I
at him.
survived a 200-pound tuna.
Yeah, and it was just a spelling mistake.
Sure.
A £200 tumour.
That's like, isn't that like kind of having
That's
Mr.
another
T
person. That
attached
is
to
another
it, yeah.
person. Maybe. Oh my God. Maybe it was all his life they told him it was a Siamese twin. But someone had just painted a little face on it.
Yeah, when he was at school, just drawn a little face on it.
Exactly, yeah, and they go, it's not your twin brother. I goes, isn't it? He goes, no, it's a tumour. We better take it off. It's £200.
£200.
That can't be right. You sure it wasn't £20 tumour?
I'm assuming that's what it probably would have been. But it was certainly £200 on the digital thing. Maybe that's a mistake.
That's great, isn't it? They're trying to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
That's someone at Carl got there. £20 tumour. Let's make it 200. At least they're watch.
Exactly.
That's what I'd be like though. I wouldn't want to go to the doctors. You know what I'm like?
A £200 tumour.
I know. It's just that thing. I mean, you know what I'm like. I don't like. It depends where it is as well. Taking your clothes off and all that. There's the pressure in it.
You don't like anything being touched, do you? I remember when he said he doesn't check his balls. He doesn't like the feel. That's live with me. He doesn't like the feel. I think, do you mean that you don't like what it feels like in your balls when you're fiddling with them? Because I imagined it that you meant you don't like the feel, in your fingertips, you don't like the feel of your balls.
It's the thing of, you start thinking about what you're actually touching, and there's something in there, and you might break them and all that. I don't like...
Oh, they are delicate. I am scared with the little knobbly bits, yeah.
What knobbly bits? But I'll tell you what, it's that thought at the doctor's. It's that thing of, it's not taking your clothes off in front of him, right? It's the way you've got to take your clothes off, but he asks you to go behind that curtain to do it first. So there's more pressure because then you come walking out with nothing on. So it's like, why do you ask me to go behind there?
Yeah.
Rather than if I just sat there having a chat and he's going, so how have you been? It's like, alright, and just taking the pants off. And then
exactly, yeah.
It's the pressure
don't take your clothes off, and you came out and he lit a candle and there was some soft music on.
The lights were down.
Nice.
Or he said, if you'll make you feel more relaxed, I'll take my clothes off.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But I'll do it in the form of a striptease.
Now, Carl, I'm going to ask you the question, knowing the answer. What do you think of maybe a gay doctor just checking his testicles out? He's a professional, he just happens to be gay.
That would never happen, would it?
What are you talking about? Why not?
Oh, speaking of,
Go on. Doctors.
no. Gay people and that. Do you know when we discussed, gay-only toilets?
Yeah.
It's only, it looks like it's coming into action.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
No way.
It was mentioned again.
Where?
On...
Your head.
No, I think...
Do you think that people in positions of power are listening to this show getting ideas from you?
Tony Blair.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? No, it really does. And the funny thing is, why are they getting upset? Why are gay people getting upset that they might have to have their own toilets?
Carl, you don't know what you're talking about anymore.
They're having a sly look.
You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, can we have Cheeky Freak after this?
If you want.
Placebo. This picture on XFM 104.9. Steve, you're thinking of taking over as producer, aren't you?
Well, I just think it's a shambles. I've asked for Cheeky Freak of the Week, and it appears that Carl's not ready. He's not prepared.
No, I can sort of remember it. It's just that I like to have all the information.
Contempt for
But
the
you've just
listener.
you've just had a whole bunch of adverts and Placebo, and all getting ready.
We're chatting, we're having a chat and that.
Right, do you want to sort yourself out in future?
Yeah, someone this is what we were chatting about. Someone emailed in about they watched the £200 tumour thing, and when it was removed, it was carried away in a wheelbarrow, right? Carl said, what, even when she had it removed, she still carried it round in a wheelbarrow? And he went, I thought it's sort of like she'd become attached to it. I mean, you definitely are my favourite thing in the world. It's great. Look at the way he's looking
But
back.
I think they're all the same. The people, I mean, I have had more emails about people saying I watched the £200 Tumour
And I
documentary
shaved me arse.
than anything else.
I know.
When we ask
We
questions
come
about
up with science,
Shakespeare,
we talk, yeah.
Nothing,
Like
silence.
concept, we talk about political issues.
one person emailed in, they said, I tuned into the £200 Tumour documentary, it looked disgusting, I couldn't watch for long. What were you expecting?
Yeah.
That it might sing and dance? That's all it was shown for you.
Oh,
Anyway,
these,
so what's the
these are
situa-
really your listeners, Carl. Now, I think you know what I mean. You sort of, you find your niche, you attract your. And I think me and Steve are pretty much just here.
I think the people that we had in the early days, Rick, they've long since abandoned us. They jumped ship.
They've got jobs.
Yeah.
They've got jobs. They're out now. They've been released.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're getting their life back together.
Carl,
Come
so
on then,
what's the
Carl.
situation with Cheeky Freak?
I've got like a couple of bits. Like I say, I haven't got the in-depth stuff that I
Oh
normally.
no, because usually it's it's
Heavily
pretty
researched.
scientific. Exactly, yeah. Do the jingle. We've come up with a new one, haven't we?
The Freak! Say chic.
Cheeky freak of the week.
Right. Well, couple of bits. I don't know which one to use as the main feature for this week.
It's that good, is it?
Well, there's been another one born. Little kid.
You go on.
4 eyes.
Insult? Just a guy who wears glasses, come on.
4 eyes. 2 noses. 2 mouths. That's weird. Isn't it?
This bloke, did he also have 2 heads, 2 bodies? Sort of born sort of slightly separately?
He wasn't stood next to a mirror.
No. It's weird, that, isn't it?
That's all you've got, is it?
I love that. That's weird. That. Imagine if the doctor said that. Well, Mrs. Parks, kid's got 4 eyes and 2 noses. Weird, isn't it? Any clues? Any clues?
So that's it. That's all the
one.
information.
Well, I'll tell you what,
No,
that,
but
that
again-
should be the main one. Okay,
No,
I've answered
but
it.
like I say, what's the idea of this feature? What do I say all the time?
Don't know.
I always say, think about it. Think about what that would be like.
Okay.
What? Giving birth to him?
No. Being, I think it's a girl. Being like her. 2 mouths. 4 eyes. What would that be like? Mad, innit?
I don't know what this feature is.
I don't know what's wrong. Is there another one? Is that you said?
I mean, I hope everyone took the opportunity there during that silence to just think about what it would be like. I know I was.
Could she talk with a mouthful?
What?
Is that allowed?
Because she's got 2 mouths.
Yeah. Would that be alright in her house?
She'd be eating.
Yeah,
fine,
she can
something
talk with one mouth and eat with the other. I
Right, well
suppose.
listen, the main one, right, you've thought about that, that's good. The main Cheeky Freak of the week, I haven't got all the details. Smallest person ever. Right? Well, how big would you say that is?
Carl is now sort of like holding his hands up like a fisherman, long ways. That's about 1 foot.
Right. Smallest man in the world. I printed the thing off and I can't find it. There's a little picture of him. Right. The odd thing was,
But why have you asked me? How did it say, or was it a picture of him?
I didn't really read it.
Of course you didn't.
Jesus.
I just saw it and thought, oh, that's
What,
that's
you
that, that's that,
trying to
sorry.
assume it was natural size?
It was that big.
But what do you mean it was that big?
Little fella, like that.
But why are you doing that? What? It was a page with a little fella. How do you know that was natural size?
No, it was, because it said it's world's smallest man. And the funny thing is, I've read the first line, I always read the first line, it said world's
Well
smallest
done,
man.
well done.
The weird thing is, he got an head like a light bulb. The shape of it, apparently. I don't know if that's got anything to do with his shape and size.
Oh, God.
That big.
His name's Mr. Watts.
And the annoying thing is, what got me is, if you're that big,
Yeah.
right, don't have your picture taken next to a fruit bowl.
Why was he having his photo taken next to a fruit bowl?
Don't know. Whoever the photographer was, obviously having a bit of a laugh
Yeah.
at his expense. Because you would just stand in the middle of nowhere, you'd look normal and that way. He was stood there, just leaning on an apple.
Leaning on an apple?
What is this? In what world do you have
No,
it?
this was on the internet. I think.
Leaning on an apple? Was it Tom Thumb? What is this? Are you sure it wasn't that some sort of sci-fi show they're advertising?
No, it was
Leaning on it. Can you just lean on the apple? Just lean on the apple, man. Do me a favour, you stand next to my chihuahua. You're not taking the piss, are you? No, not at all, no. Would you mind leaning on this matchbox?
Yeah.
Leaning on an apple. And that's what, so it just said he's the world's smallest man leaning on an apple.
smallest man, said about his head being like a light bulb. I don't know what that meant. And I just thought, right, that'll do. That's that sorted Cheeky Freak of the Week done. I think that was on like Monday. Right, I found that, I thought that's done. Printed it off, forgot to get it off the photocopier. Someone's nicked it.
Play a record.
That you got to...
You know, it's just, Steve.
No, can I just say,
There's no
Carl,
point.
please,
There's no
if
point.
I say, let's have Cheeky Freak of the Week, and you haven't done your research, you haven't got the information, just tell us you can't do it. But don't lead us on.
Don't say this
In
not
the
on
charade.
radio. Hold your hand up to me and go, how tall is that?
It's nothing.
That's
This is
radio.
nothing.
It's nothing. I think it was that big because he was leaning on an apple.
It's not enough information.
But, imagine Trevor McDonald coming on, going some news, some stuff. How big's that? How big do you think that is?
Yeah.
Because there was a fella, coming up after Chris Tarrant. Play a record.
I'm angry. I'm actually angry. And if Monkey News is in any way similar, you've really pulled your finger out with that, have you? Mm-hmm. Good. Let's have Rockbusters answers next.
Supersonic. Oasis on XFM 104.9. Right. Getting through it. It's the Rockbusters. It's the Rockbusters results, really, because this is and a very important result is whether they stay in the Premiership or are relegated. This is the playoffs for Carl. Okay? 3 points. You need 3 points to stay up, Carl. Go on.
Right, had a lot of right answers in that.
Right, okay. That's in your favour. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first clue was the doctor said part of the foot and the leg was no good, so he took them off. He threw them away.
Yeah.
The initials TB.
Yeah.
Right.
Go on.
Tony Bennett. Alright, that's Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a warning. That's a yellow card. That is a yellow card, but you can still get the points
Right.
because his name's not Bennett. Tony, brilliant. Tony, perfect. A pun. Knee, his name's Tony. Perfect. Bennett, no, his name's Bennett. See?
Well, he's in London this week as well, so I don't know if it's sold out. I wouldn't mind.
Are you on drugs, or have you? Did I actually crack your head? Did I actually give you some brain damage? Because you're worse than usual now. It's like, go on.
Right, the second one. That Scottish fella.
We've got to speed this show
No,
up.
hang on a minute, hang on. I've just got to make sure it's right. We don't want to look stupid. Right? That Scottish monster has got a bit of a tan.
I don't think we can look stupid with
Right?
material like this.
TD. That Scottish monster's got a bit of a tan. The answer there, the darkness.
I'll give you that.
Right.
Well done.
And the last one.
Goal.
The 60s singer, he had a heart attack the other way whilst having it away. You won't be seeing him again. The initials FNM. That's Faith No More. Adam Faith. Right.
No! Doesn't count!
Why not? Adam Faith No More. Right.
Adam Faith no more. So, sorry, what is the clue? Is the clue Adam Faith, or is it Faith no more?
Just Faith, I suppose. Just Faith No More. The singer. So we got that. That's that. Safe for next week. Who's the winner?
What do you make of it?
You've got the deciding vote, Rick.
Well,
Come on.
I mean, you know my
I mean, it works Faith no more, but he's mixed up what cryptic is and that, because because the fella, I mean, Adam Faith did actually die having it away, didn't he?
Yeah.
So it's all about him.
It's all right. All the facts are right.
Anyway.
Okay, I think he's got a reprieve. I think I'll give it to him. I think I've got to give it to him, Steve. I think I have. He actually pulled that out of the bag, that one. There's no Jamaican fellas seeing icebergs or, you know, Whitney Houston. The closest he came to is Bennett, and I've got to let him off that. I've got to be a fair ref here.
Well, fair enough, and well done to, you know, I'm always a fan of names that for some reason just strike me or tickle me.
Yeah.
And this week the lucky winner is Dave Suckling. There's nothing amusing about that.
Oh dear.
So well done to Dave Suckling.
Okay. Well, Suckling wins it. Suckling takes the prize.
He takes the prizes, and well done to him. I guess there's more of that next week, and we're fast approaching the end of the show, Rick. I know you are excited about that, as am I.
Well, no, but the best to come, because we've still got Bruce Springsteen coming up now, followed by Monkey News.
Alright, Monkey News
It's
after
amazing. What an amazing show this is.
Now they blew up this house.
Excellent. So Monkey News time on XFM. Carl Pilkington, the man in the hot seat. Carl, what have you got for us?
Okay, Monkey News this week. We've covered a lot of stuff.
We have indeed.
Now, do you know, like, there's places where you can go for, like, weekend rests and stuff,
Sure.
and you relax, you sit in a little spa, you might have a swim and
Yep.
stuff. Well, they've got a place done for monkeys,
Of course they have.
right? They can go there, they relax, forget about all the stuff they've got going on in their head. They can have a manicure,
Right.
got nice meals,
It's not called a manicure though, it's called a chimpacure.
beauty
them.
treatments,
Yeah.
right? They look good and stuff.
Yeah, well, look good, feel good, yeah.
Now, you might think, well, that's pretty normal.
Well,
The bit I haven't told you about is actually run by a couple of chimps.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! You're a maniac!
right.
Oh, for Christ! Oh.
Let's just...
It's like coming a chip!
But,
Of course it's not!
No, it is, because think about it, right?
No, not think about it. What do you mean, yes it is? Of course it's not run by a couple of chimps. What do they do, get a loan?
Right, if a chimp wants to have a rest,
Yeah.
where would you go to? A place that's run by humans that don't know what chimps' needs are?
No! My point is this, how did they get it together? How did the two chimps, Mr. and Mrs. Chimp, went for a loan and said, I'll tell you what we need, a spa.
I think it started off quite simple, right? Just you know, basic stuff.
But they've expanded over time because it's become so popular.
It's gone mental down there.
Sure.
Go! I
They've all
don't
heard
know.
about it. Now the thing is, the problem is this, right? That isn't even the top and bottom of it, right?
Christ.
The problem is, it's been going on and on and on, right? It's been earning a lot of money and stuff. The monkeys are happy. The monkeys that go there are loving it. They're telling friends and stuff. They're all coming to it. Now the problem is, it's this little monkey, little man monkey and a little woman monkey, right?
Yeah.
They were sort of girlfriend and boyfriend.
Sort of. It's an open relationship, they can play around if they
Well,
want.
the problem is they're not married, right? Now
Trouble brewing.
the lad monkey, fella monkey, he's getting quite old. And the problem is, because it's his name that's down on all the
Carl,
all the forms. Let him finish.
I'm getting scared now.
Let him finish.
it's his name on the business, and the problem is his missus is kind of like, what's going to happen?
Sure.
What
If
are
he
you getting this,
passes
where are you
away-
getting this from? What?
Internet.
Carl, I don't know where to start.
Now,
This is the.
Can we just hear the end?
This is ridiculous.
so the problem is, the
Female monkey is worried that the male monkey
she's worried.
is
What's
going to
going
die.
to happen with the
and
business? What's going to happen?
Of course.
Right now,
What do you mean the business?
the health
That isn't
spa,
a business. It's a joke.
health
Nick,
spa.
you're not listening. His name's on the form. The male maker's name, it's in his name.
Now the problem is, the woman monkey has got some kids, but because they're not blood relatives, it's not going to be handed down to them. And the court,
They're kids from a previous monkey marriage.
yeah,
Right.
so that they're not going to get it. Let me just check this out.
Yeah, otherwise you don't have to check the facts, otherwise
Yeah.
you could look like a twat spouting shit on the radio. Please check the facts for scientific
And
security.
they're just a bit worried because they're saying that the people in Ohio, which is where they've got the little health thing going on.
So that makes it more believable that it's Ohio. I
Um,
thought you meant it was Berkshire, in which case it would be rubbish.
it looks like the local people are trying to get in there. They've seen the success of it,
Sure.
and they're
They want a
trying
piece
to
of
go in and
action.
take it over and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Give me the piece of paper.
Throw it away. Play records. That's the worst. That's the worst one I've ever heard. And there's something wrong with you. You're educationally subnormal.
Final tune from us. Tim Buckley. Lovely song called Wings. Back next week?
Yeah.
Yep. See you, Carl.
Although you've spoken many times before.
Oh, proper rock band. Best band since Thin Lizzy. The Darkness.
Oh, big words.
Growing on me. XFM 104.9.
Bit rash, I think.
R. Gervais. S. Merchant. Kate Pilkington. We're a little bit of that. I know for a fact that Steve is getting a little bit sick of Carl's attitude.
Oh, his attitude's appalling.
I quite like it though, because it's straight away friction, and he's sort of like, you know.
To be fair, I genuinely don't think I'm the culprit in this. I think I come in and I just ask him a simple request, and immediately on my back, whinging, moaning, whining. I mean, I don't know if there's any evidence.
Well, it's funny you say that actually, because in a survey,
it
came up this week. It's quite extensive. Mancunians take more sick days than anyone else. Mancunians take more sick days than workers in any other city in Britain and Ireland, according to Manchester-based employment firm. Survey by Peninsula found employees in Manchester take 11 sick days per year, whereas closest rivals Edinburgh and Dublin take an average of 9. Liverpool, Newcastle, Birmingham, Cardiff, only 8.
Is Reading mentioned there? Or
no, it's not even in there. They don't take days off. London is only 7. So the point is, I mean, I don't know, you can take anything from it, but if you're an employer and you had a Mancunian and a Liverpudlian and they were equal on everything else, but you really couldn't afford them to be away, Liverpudlian's going to probably be away for 8 days.
Sure.
The Manc's going to be away for 11, phoning in sick. And
so what can you? I mean, just analysing the data though. What would you extrapolate from that?
I really don't know. I mean, call in if you've got any clues, or email us in if you've got any. I don't know why they. I think maybe. I don't know. Mancunians.
I don't really know many people from Manchester.
Well, I only know one, but I know he was off sick because he put on wet trousers and he got
cold, I think.
Yeah. Well, he just said he was. Didn't come in for.
Yeah.
He left early as well once.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, that's the survey. I don't know. I mean, it's evidence because it's statistics. So there you go.
Guaranteed evidence that's
so
proof.
Any thoughts on that, Vicky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk?
I mean, oddly enough, you're from Manchester, Carl.
I am, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
On what? Sorry.
Yeah, on the survey.
Oh, wasn't really listening.
Sure.
What Mancunians take off more sick days? They call in sick. I mean, presumably spuriously.
Yeah.
I mean, because they've got the same body, they're biologically the same, so...
obviously making up their life.
Yeah, some of the days. Maybe just the 3 extra they're making up.
Yeah, they're moaning.
Probably because we work a lot harder than the others, so we're tired, so you're sick, so you need time off. Probably.
Unlikely.
I mean, the Scousers, to be honest, take them on, let them work in your office. But you know, how many computers are going to go missing?
Right, that...
So offensive.
Is offensive.
Right.
This is a survey that proved. You just made that up. You just carried on the myth that Liverpudlians thieve. No, that's not true. That is not true. Well, it's not.
Well, some of them do.
There's been no survey that you're more likely to thieve if you're from Liverpool than if you're in Manchester. So that hasn't been proven yet. So all I've got is the evidence from a survey of, I think, 3,500 people. It's proof that Mancunians take off more sick days. XFM 104.9. This is April Come She Will by Simon and Garfunkel. Simon and Garfunkel, April Come She Will. A lovely love song there. The X-List was all about sort of like sexy songs because of death of Barry White, of course. And Carl and Steve having a little argument. Steve said there are such thing as sexy songs, of course. Carl said I can't understand it. How can something be sexy? How can you woo them with a song? Steve went, well, you don't woo them with it, you just put it on the background. Carl said, stick the telly on.
Stick the telly on.
I love that.
You don't believe there's any such thing as a sexy song, is that right?
I don't think it can get you in the mood. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're either in with a chance or you're not. I don't think it matters what song you put on.
Well, I don't think it ups your chances. I don't think if you take...
It does. If you put Channel 5 on a Friday night, right, see a little bit of that action, gets anyone going. And it's worked for me, and that's what I'm
when
saying.
pets go mad.
No, you know, like... I don't know the titles of them. I don't look at the titles. But
that show with Chris Moyles? Do you mean the kind of erotic thrillers?
Yeah, put one of them on. That gets you going a bit.
I
might be tired and that, but...
What does the woman go? Oh, that's an idea. Hey, that's an idea.
They're normally called something like illegal briefs. they're normally about some kind of female solicitor who's defending a guy who may or may not be a killer, but maybe in a former life they were lovers. It's always some nonsense like that, and presumably there's normally some gruesome murders. So how is that getting you in the mood?
It's plot development.
Yeah, it's the narrative. I love narrative.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that's a lovely twist. I've got the organ.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, if you're from Manchester, sorry about that. I mean, it is true. We weren't making that up. We weren't doing a stupid stereotype like Carl did with Liverpoolians. It's just a survey that Mancunians take off more sick days. I mean, but they might be genuine. They might be sort of an iller people, or it might just be people who in Manchester go, oh, I can't be bothered to go to work, it's rubbish. Whereas if you're in London, you go, I can't wait to go to work. What a lovely place this is.
Some great jobs, Daniel.
Great job, Daniel.
Rick, I know you're always looking just to keep you abreast of new developments in music, what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got any plans this evening. You might want to pop along to the Hope and Anchor in Islington.
Why?
Where playing tonight, Restless Diesel.
Please welcome to the stage.
Restless Diesel. I mean, we've talked about it before. Band names where you just have to imagine you're supporting U2, Wembley Stadium. It can never happen. Please welcome to the stage,
And
Restless
he comes on
Diesel.
And after the first song, he goes, thanks, cause great band before us, Restless Diesel. You hear a lot more of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, it won't happen, will it?
Sure, they're a great band. I think.
What's the tax on that? £5 in, is it?
It's not telling us actually. Yeah, but pop down to Hope and Anchor. Maybe tell us how Restless Diesel was tonight.
Yeah, just call in. Maybe call in on Christian Show Monday. Just tell us how Restless Diesel were. We can make that a regular feature.
Now, what's coming up on today's show?
Well, listen, we got all the usual favourites. We got and some new ones. We got Monkey News. That's sorted. Carl told me.
People are guaranteed Monkey
He
News.
called in. He said, I've got some Monkey News.
Brilliant.
He's done that. I had to make sure. Yeah, we got that. We've got some great tunes. I've got a great song from Tupac, some Cat Stevens, some Jimmy Webb, some Thin Lizzy.
Can I surprise you with something from Aerosmith? And a
Brilliant.
little treat from Evan Danbury.
We're quite rocky today, aren't we? There's a threat that there won't be Rockbusters.
Good. That's no threat.
But we can bring back Educating Ricky.
Oh.
I mean, because it's sort of like seasonal, isn't it, our show? We don't want it's not like Ant and Dec's takeaways on all through the year.
Yeah.
They go away for a few weeks and we get something else, like Ian writes, Friends Like These or something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so maybe Rockbusters, maybe not.
Rockbusters on hiatus, but Educating Ricky always.
That's what's coming up. And
before.
I'll tell you what, Jane's Addiction, just because they rock as well, don't they?
Oh, brilliant.
XFM 104.9.
Excellent, Ricky Gervais.
Jane's Addiction, just because on XFM 104.9, broadcasting from London, where people prefer to only be off sick when they actually are ill.
Sure. I don't think I've ever taken a day off sick. Except when I had that terrible tonsillitis.
Is that when you went home, stayed with your mum and dad?
Yeah. Why is that a problem? Goes back to health.
No, I'm not saying it's a
Goes
problem.
back to health. Yeah, got a loving family. So sue me. What do you make
The antagonism and piss taking is just like, oh god, 3 blokes in a pub. If there's people listening, I can't
Are there? Carl, what do you make of London? Because you often say you'd much rather be up north.
Well, he wouldn't, or he'd go.
Well, this is what he constantly says.
You've chosen to live here, you've lived here for years, you've got a flat here. No.
I chose to come here because I was offered a job that was good money.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have come here if there was no job.
So you prefer to be somewhere where there's a good job, so you've chosen to live here.
I don't like being here, though.
Well, no, but you can leave.
To what?
Well, exactly! So you've chosen to stay somewhere that's better for you.
It's not better for me.
Well,
it's making me ill. I'm not sleeping.
Well, so you say you're ill, I think you call in ill, but I don't think you are. But I mean,
are there any stats to prove that?
Well, yeah, because out of the 11 days that he calls in sick, I reckon probably 7 of them are genuine.
I'd love it if I dropped down dead tonight. Honestly, I'd love it.
If you drop down dead tonight, you know it. Why aren't you sleeping?
What, you're feeling ill now, are you? That's funny, you weren't feeling ill earlier, but you read that, and you're suddenly ill.
I'm run down.
Well, you should take a holiday. Oh yeah, you just had about 8 in the last 6 months.
Oh God!
Why are you run down?
Yeah, what have you done? You sit in a little air-conditioned office.
I haven't got time to tell you. Let's move on. Let's get on with stuff. What have we got anyway? Because we didn't have a chance to meet up this week. Me and Ricky could have done, but you said you were busy, Steve.
Yeah,
so
I was.
that's probably why you don't get run down. But finishing work at about 4 o'clock.
No, so I could have had the meeting, but we gave you a time and you suddenly decided with very little notice that you couldn't make it. So
we
that
don't
was
get
the meeting.
meetings and that.
Oh.
So what have we got, man? What have we got? It's 1:20. What have we got? We're on till 3.
Well, we've been talking, we've been doing well, we've been playing some great rock and roll, we've been playing some lovely songs, we've told them, we've explained a survey, just for employees, be careful.
Yeah.
We've, put that out there, we put a shout out there, people know
Would you say it was probably safest if you are an employer to never employ Mancunians.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I
general
wouldn't go
rule
that
of
far
thumb?
because, you see, that's only an average. So I imagine some Mancunians, like, you know, Londoners, you know, are nice, reliable people. It's probably just a few bad eggs that throw the stats up
Sure.
a little bit. You know, people that would go, I'm not coming in today, I'll put on some wet trousers.
Sure.
All right, stay in bed.
Yeah.
Stay in bed.
Yeah.
You still got them on? Yeah. Well, top them off.
Yeah.
Put them on the radiator and go to bed with a little duvet. That'd be the best thing to do.
Yeah.
So, alright, Carl? Right, what's your attitude? Is it because you're tired?
Yeah.
Well, why are you tired, though?
You were saying that watching those Channel 5 films again, weren't you?
I'll tell you what, me and Steve were having a little meeting yesterday over lunch about, you know, planning stuff for the show, and Gary Kemp came up to me, started having a little chat about old times, and I went, oh yeah. As he went away, Steve said, right, think of this, he said, Rick, don't take this the wrong way. Remember that sentence, don't take this the wrong way. So there's a right way and a wrong way I could have taken this comment. He went, nodded to sort of Gary Kemp and went, he's aged better than you. I went, well, how could I take that the wrong way?
Yeah, that's not offensive.
No. Well, the point is this, he does, because he didn't know me 20 years ago, so he's actually saying, Rick, don't take this the wrong way, he looks better than you do.
Yeah, well he does.
But why say that, Carl?
What?
Did you really say that?
Yeah, although, can I just backtracking for a second? I love the fact you said you bumped into Gary Kemp and you reminisced about old times. What old times did you share with Gary
Well, no, he
Kemp?
came up and said, did we drop the pops together? I went, no, I did Razzmatazz. I said, oh, we did Razzmatazz. I think he was thinking, had he ever met me before? But he hadn't, because we hadn't. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
But if you had to make an objective analysis,
I
know.
wouldn't. I think that's out of order.
sure. I mean, you're always slagging me off, but apparently you can't make a value judgment on something else. No. Well, because you're morally all over the place. You don't know where you're coming or going. Yeah. Sure. You should do what I say about you then.
So, would you say you're better looking now than you were? Or
Then I'm what?
would you say you're better looking now than you were?
Than I was when?
Well, like, you know, have you aged well?
Yes.
You've aged well.
Yeah, I've kept my looks.
bit of down.
Bit Evan down there, this would be lovely, yeah.
Look for sunshine to burn
Radiohead, Go to Sleep. That's good, isn't it? On XFM 104.9.
Brilliant. Great DJing there.
Well, I haven't heard it before.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it was good. It was very good. It was very good. I was just watching cable TV. I do a lot of that, and there's an advert I've noticed. It reminded me of the sort of adverts you used to see when I was a kid. It's one of those attempts to kind of educate young people, but doing it in
Yeah.
It's on MTV, but it's one of those things where it's clearly been made by people who are in their mid-40s.
Who have never been cool.
Who have never been cool.
Yeah.
Who've been working really hard to get into TV all their lives, and now are trying to appeal to, funky and possibly wayward young people.
Yeah.
And it's kind of...
Ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a kind of stunning model, and two of her stunning model friends, but they're just a couple of average girls,
Sure.
going about their business. And, it says something like, they're sort of shot very funkily, like a kind of, lock, stock and two smoking barrels kind of thing. And it's a girl, and she's just grooving along with her friends, and it's kind of like, the captions are things like, Isabella's 17. She's cool, she's quite funky, she's got these great friends, and they're sort of hanging out, laughing. And she just pops into a tattoo parlour.
Sure.
Why not? Her friends are like, what are you doing? But she just goes in, she has a tattoo done, and it sort of says, she's wild, she's crazy. She lives life as she sees it. She takes every day as it comes. She's not tied down or anything. She doesn't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. So if you think she's cool, if you think all this is cool, then you probably won't want to smoke cigarettes.
Exactly.
If you want to be cool, then
like
don't.
Isabella or whatever.
Except the thing with that is that people watching that, the youth watching that will go, well, Bill at my school, he smokes and he's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this is the problem with it.
Yeah.
It's not that the impulse is wrong. The message is fine. It's just this thing. I can't imagine those things ever working with young people.
No.
With youths. It's like when what was it?
Well, what it will do is that you'll get a lot of 13 and 14-year-olds sneaking out and getting a tattoo.
Exactly.
So the parents will be going, I'd rather she smoked.
Exactly. She might give that up
Yeah, I know,
sometimes. That's her life.
She's got a spider's web on her face now for the rest of her life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like you remember that thing when they tried to get young people to vote. Do you remember that? Was it Rock the Vote? Was it called Rock the Vote? Was it people like Billy Bragg and people kind of...
Yeah.
I don't know who that appeals to. I don't know You know, some youth he's kind of smashing up a bus shelter,
Yeah.
throwing bricks at old
He
people.
goes,
and
"Oh,
then,
Billy-
wait, was that Billy Bragg?
Billy Bragg, yeah.
I just can't. I don't believe it ever. I think it was Mick Hucknall was another one. What's that, Mick?
Oh dear. Well, I remember the ones where you just if you were going to go off with a stranger, your cat went, well, don't.
Yeah.
Ask mummy first.
Yeah.
And I remember I was trying to jump in cars left, right, and centre, but my cat, when I was like 5 or 6, would go. And I go, good point.
Yeah.
You're right. He could be a nutter.
But I seem to remember the Charlie's. The Charlie Says. It was Charlie Says, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Charlie Says.
Charlie Says.
I always found them really unnerving. He lived in that really eerie kind of world where you never really saw
cartoon.
anyone. Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
very kind of. It was very eerie. It wasn't very kind of comforting.
No, but
world.
they hadn't spent a lot of money on the cartoon. No.
But it was. I always got the sense with him that he was probably really quite lonely.
But I like the fact is that,
And he had a cat.
Mummy
and a
was
cat
so
could talk.
pleased, but by the time I came out, they'd gone off and I missed the picnic. But Mummy was so pleased that I'd asked her, she gave me an apple.
No, I think
and
she said-
Charlie got something he liked. He gets a fish,
Yeah.
right? I was thinking, an apple?
No, I seem to remember it being that.
I'll get an apple anyway. Get me some sweets.
Yeah, or a tattoo.
I always thought it was a con when your parents got you some clothes you needed for Christmas.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not falling for that.
Exactly.
I'd go, look, I'm getting the clothes anyway. But I want battling tops.
But the Charlie Says, I seem to remember when they asked him to go off for the picnic. By
Yeah.
the time he'd asked Mum because she was on the phone,
Yeah.
I don't know who she was chatting to in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
The kids had gone,
One of her,
and I seem to
one of
remember
her
that.
clients.
Exactly. I seem to remember. I seem to remember that he said, "Don't worry, it was fine because Mum took him and Charlie on a picnic."
Not as good.
Who'd rather go with your mates,
Yeah.
or with your
Or
mum on a
mum and your
picnic?
cat.
And your cat.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think they were friends.
They Scotch egg stinks of fish. Well, I had to bring it for Charlie. Don't bring raw fish in the picnic basket.
I think they weren't friends with us. They were just local kids who go, let's go and ask that weirdo with the cat if he wants to come down the park.
Let's go and ask the weirdo who thinks the cat can
He can talk, yeah.
and then run away when he goes to ask his mum.
When he goes off to ask his mum, they're just going, ah!
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
ask your mum!
Yeah,
Ask your mum!
yeah. Hello, hiya. Alright, we're the local lads, the cool local lads. We smoke, we got tattoos. Do you want to come and play with some puppies in the disused mine? Ask your mum first. Quick, run.
Exactly.
Look, he's talking to the cat. Look, he's talking to the cat.
They were just round the corner spying on him. They were just laughing. There was no picnic.
Did you ever go on a picnic, Carl? Was there places to go in Manchester, or was it like Quarryland mostly?
The problem with those adverts, like when I was growing up, they'd sort of give you ideas, because remember the Charlie's one, right? And we were on holiday, right? And I met these two lads who are knocking about with like mates and that. And that advert came on, and we thought it'd be a good idea to wind his mum up, because this advert had just been on saying, you know, kids are going missing in Wales, right?
Yeah.
So we said, oh, this will be a good laugh. We put the kid in the wardrobe. His mum came back from shopping. We said, oh, he's gone missing. We haven't seen him for hours.
That's terrifying.
I know.
That's
How old were you?
appalling.
How old were you?
About 13.
And what was his mum? She must have been. She must have been friends with.
Yeah, she was going mad, and that's when we thought, oh god, we've gone. Will we say anything? Will we pretend we don't know where he is?
Oh, in the wardrobe,
Yeah.
he'd suffocated.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
horrible, Carl.
I know, but
Such
it's
a
just
cool
what you do,
thing.
isn't it? It's just what you do.
Well, no, you do.
What do you mean? It's just
Well,
what you do. What was it? Was he in the wardrobe? Was he listening to this? Why didn't he go, Mum, it's alright, when he heard her crying?
Well, she wasn't crying, she was just panicking and like screaming a little bit and that.
Screaming a little bit.
Okay, we'll tell her when the screaming starts.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then, what's the other thing? Like, on the same, like, you know, all this was going on when I was growing up. And one time we're on holiday, and my mum says, right, if you're going on the beach, it's a big beach. But, you know, if you're going to go out and play there, I need to know where you are.
So
what part
where
of the
these
beach you're going
bells?
to.
where this cowbell legend is.
She gave me a balloon.
Good
Give you a
idea.
balloon.
A balloon, and it just, you know, sort of attached to my arm, so wherever I was playing in the sea and that, you can see the balloon and that.
Brilliant.
But then the problem was, everyone else thought that's a good idea, and it was just like loads of kids with balloons and that,
Oh, I ruined it.
so that didn't work.
Yeah.
Had to bin that idea.
Weren't you in a car park once?
Oh no! It was New Year, and we were all gathering up. You know, like in Trafalgar Square at New Year, everyone gathers and they have a big kind of party and stuff. Well, in Bristol, they do something very similar on a smaller scale. And I was there one New Year, I was with my friends, and I for some reason I picked up a balloon during the evening. You know, I don't know where I got it from, but I was holding this balloon, and these girls came up to me, and I thought, yeah, nice, you know, maybe a little New Year kiss. They came up, they said, hey, are you going to be here for a while? And I said, well, yeah, I probably will. They said, it's just that we've arranged to meet back at you at midnight. Oh, what do you mean? Because I was so tall and had a balloon, I was towering above everyone else. I said, what? They said, we're going to meet back at you at midnight.
This is
They said, don't worry, you can go about your business because we can see you wherever you are.
this is where Nelson's column is.
No. No, this is in Bristol.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. And so I'm sort of wandering around, and then at midnight these two girls turned up again, and some of these lads come and meet them, and they're sort of laughing and joking. I'm thinking, oh, they're probably going to invite me back to a party. I watched them get in a cab. They went off. They had a wild night. But then I did have a balloon, so it was a great New Year for me.
I did have a balloon. Oh, should we have a little bit of two-pack?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, there's a great lyric in this. It's picture me rolling, right? But at the end, he starts saying about look at me now. I'm drinking Remy and I'm in a Rolls Royce. And he goes, oh yeah, I forgot the DA. Can she see me from here? Can you see me, ho? And I think this is like district attorney turning on the radio and two-pack going around going, can that ho see me? She's going, yeah, yeah, I can see you.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. Two-pack. I'll tell you what, we should get rolling. Rockbusters.
No.
Alright?
No.
Well, he has done it. He just said that he was worried about it because we said it's the last one. What do you think, Carl?
I just don't think... I mean, can I just say now, Carl, seriously, I'm only responding to what we're getting on the email, which is people do not want Rockbusters. They really... There's one guy here who is... He says, it's James Pooley, he says he's preempted Carl by giving my answers to this week's quiz. I don't know what the clue would be, but his answer is no van ear. Nirvana.
Yeah, good. Nirvana, yeah. But that sounds like one.
Number 2, he's just guessed. I don't know again what the clue would be, but the answer is Kid Creosote.
Yeah, that's good.
That
That's a typical Rockbuster. That is brilliant. That's a better game.
And the last one is Harry Seacombe.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good.
So, I mean, maybe we should reverse it so people just...
and we have to come up with the clue for them. And we win the prizes.
Yeah.
Have you got prizes ready as well?
It's all there, but...
Oh, I feel sorry for him now. I mean, what the prizes would have been.
I'd rather just give them away to the first person to email in, frankly, than have to go through the torment of Rockbusters.
God! Look at Carl's face! I wish we could... Oh, can't we get this on telly just for Carl's face? Hey, I'll tell you what we could do, Steve. You know, like Smiley Miley and that used to take the Radio 1 Roadshow out?
Oh, man, that would be amazing.
Come on, should we take it out?
Hello, Bournemouth!
Yeah, how many miles have I done? Don't care. No,
Exactly.
Should we do this? How many miles have we done? Well, XFM's down the road.
Yeah.
1, yeah. Should we take it out the road just so they can see Carl
To be fair, though, I mean, you're not really keen to leave W1, are you?
Well, we wouldn't.
Right, so where exactly would we take the roadshow?
We'd do it outside.
Outside the building?
Yeah.
Right, okay. And what would
It's
you do?
called a roadshow because it's in the road, I imagine, isn't it?
And we'd give away t-shirts?
Throw in t-shirts and then we'd have a
Any
band.
attack.
We'd have band playing. What was that band playing tonight?
I forget, something Diesel, was it?
Yeah.
See, instantly forgettable. I mean, that was my point, really.
we could have them on.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Get a couple of celebrity pals down.
Someone from Big Brother 2.
That would be ideal.
Well, Josh, the other little gay fella.
Yeah.
He'd come on, just wave.
Yeah. I'm beginning to like the idea.
Yeah?
Brilliant, yeah.
So we'll have Josh, something Diesel, we're playing the Bull and Gate tonight, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right, I'll throw out some t-shirts.
Yeah.
And then Carl will do a live Rockbusters. Yeah?
Well, I don't know, do you want it?
I just think that ruins it slightly. It would just bring the whole afternoon down, Rick, I think.
We get it sponsored by someone. Yeah? No? Well, I'm just trying to
No, sure,
inject a bit of... Read the prizes, what they would have done.
There's a PlayStation game here. I guess it's maybe not been released yet. It's a little demo of that. What's this? The American Song Poem Anthology. I don't exactly know what that is again, but lots of songs on there and a couple of compilations, arbitrary compilations. The Club Anthems compilation, the best summer holiday album ever.
Wow.
There it is again.
You've certainly sold it to me, Steve.
The best air guitar album again.
Brilliant.
And an old edition of Only Fools and Horses.
So, you really haven't put the effort into the prizes, Carl. So if that's the prizes, if that's the whole point of the competition, and they're the best prizes you could conjure up, in God's name, how bad are the clues this week? That's why he doesn't want you to do it, Carl.
Alright, we won't bother. Get it. Doesn't matter.
Good. Excellent. Well, that's resolved.
Brilliant.
That's excellent. What we have got, though, is Educating Ricky, haven't we?
Well, another one of my little things.
Oh, it's brilliant, then.
So how long's this going to last before you want to get ditched this?
Well, we'll see. A couple of weeks.
Not like that, Carl. It's all one. It's one love, man.
We're on the same team.
Yeah, we're just one voice, man. One true voice. like those lads.
Yeah.
They could play.
Right, well, the educating Ricky,
They could
right?
play.
Why don't you play a record and come back with Educating
The
Ricky?
Wind, Cat Stevens.
We need
beautiful
to get the
Beautiful
jingle
song.
queued up as well.
Yeah, I'll get the jingle queued up.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't got Neil Young lined up yet.
No, not you, I'm Cat Stevens. I gave it to you.
I know, we're not playing that yet.
Can we just play a
Well,
record?
no, I
It's just
told you
sounding
to.
rubbish.
Well, I
It's
told you
just
to. See, what? So why aren't you playing the record I told you to play?
Because we've just had something chilled, right, from Tupac. Let's lift it up a bit now with a little bit of blur. Right?
Come on, play it. Oh, am I sure?
I just have. Crazy beat there on XFM 104.9. Right, we're gonna do Educating Ricky instead of Rockbusters.
Incidentally, on the subject of Rockbusters, we've just an email from Phil. He says, I could do with this week's rather shoddy array of prizes, as I'm doing a car boot sale tomorrow and need a bit more tact to fill the table.